sign up for.
What a day today. Welcome to Off Topic.
Wow.
Trevor, Barbara, Alfredo, Bernie, Fiona, she's back.
Yo, what's up?
Today's podcast is brought to you by Movement Watches, 23andMe, and Quip. So, boom, we'll talk more about them later.
When Fiona and Alfredo came running in at the very last second. Because it was going to be like the third wheel situation where they were down there and I was just sitting here like slowly sipping
Well,
my
it's actually
drink.
just you and me, Bernie, for like the first 2 minutes after 2:30.
We should have just started it like
We were a little late.
We were going to.
I'll be honest.
Wait.
No.
I was kind of hoping that we just showed up and you guys had already kicked it off.
We were going
Just
to.
kick it off.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Because that would have been really awkward. I just kind of want to lean into
I
that
actually would've just
RT
stood there on the
podcast,
side.
off-topic, awkward hybrid that we got
Yeah,
going
you don't
here.
want to hear our Achievement Hunter impressions either.
Go for it. You know
I
what?
mean, go ahead.
What was the
It's
conversation
time.
we're going to have?
I played video games the other day.
Wow, that's the perfect Alfredo.
Damn, you nailed me.
That's exactly.
Hey, God, yeah.
I had to wait in line at the DMV for like an hour yesterday.
For fun. Oh, that's me. That's me.
I was just going to get blitheringly drunk like Michael does every time. Michael, by the way, second time around, going to be a father. His father, excuse me.
father.
Yes.
Had his second baby.
Turns out, still a father. Yeah.
Luna.
Yeah, crazy.
The Luna Claire.
Luna Claire?
I believe so.
Tiny.
Correct?
Luna Claire.
Luna
Oh, yeah,
Claire.
You
She's
saw.
like 8 pounds, 14 ounces?
She's
something like that?
big for a baby, but like I've never seen a child that was like 17 hours out the womb.
They can freak you out when they're that little and that small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean by freak you out?
They was just
It's
like,
just like a.
Her head was like oval shaped because, you know, that way it goes out the better.
it's like a babies like that. They're about the size of a football that someone let a bunch of the air out of because they're just
Yeah, it's
mushy.
They're like a raisined human, would you say?
Yeah. Well, they come out and they're not fully cured. They got to be liquid to kind of
Cured,
get out.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
then they kind of like
They need to like...
solidify.
Yeah, they have to sort of stay in this weird position, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like sort of like
also
what you said. They gotta like
Majestic.
Emerge like a butterfly.
yeah, like and then start.
It almost looks like they've been injured sometimes. Whenever I see like a brand newborn baby, it has like redness on the eyes, and it looks like
Yeah,
They
yeah
could
they're
be
like
injured.
they're like
You know?
suffering. They're like, put me back in.
It could be injured because statistically 23% of all newborn babies slip right out of the hands.
really.
That sounded
on the
like the
table.
weirdest segue to an ad read that
What?
didn't happen. I don't know why. They
I'm
came up with
just,
that horrible
listen, Brian,
stat.
just raising awareness on fake statistics in
serious?
America. No.
Okay.
No, not 23%.
Honestly, I just do stuff like that for Barbara.
high.
That is kind of high.
I am the most naive and
Stand up,
gullible
can
person.
Yeah.
I think, when it
I
comes
would
to-
say curious and willing to learn.
Maybe, but you do this thing to me all the time, which gets me 100% of the time. Where
Mm-hmm.
we'll be out to eat together, and he'll get something to eat. I'll get something to eat. It'll usually be different. I'll be eating mine. I'll be like, "Oh my god, this is delicious. Do you want to try some?" He goes, "Sure." He takes a bite and he goes, "Oh, delicious." It gets me every fucking time. Where I'm just like, "Do you not like it?" Oh, I'm sorry. And then it's just like amazing.
How dare you feed me something so tasty?
Yeah.
Yeah, here, give me a bite. Can I sneak a bite of your thing here?
Yeah, you can.
What do we got going on?
We
in here?
didn't eat.
We
You
didn't
didn't
eat.
eat, so I won't touch that then.
I mean,
I just had
Sounds
my
like you're
first
still
meal
not
of the day.
eating.
I'm not eating. Yeah. So I'm
Some
suffering.
eats. What? No, that doesn't.
Nothing
that
better
doesn't
than a
work.
podcast
So-
where people are eating
Sarah
on mic.
usually comes in and brings us.
What do you want? Get a
sandwiches.
little snack tray out there. Get you a snack.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I showed her the
Snacks on
snack cage. Just go over
That's
there.
the secret, right?
Yeah.
That's the first thing I do when people bring their kids by the office is I take them into the snack cage and then I become their favorite
And then
person.
you leave
Yeah.
them there for the rest
Yeah.
of the day.
Yeah, just stay right
So
here.
can someone explain to me why there's a desk in there? Is someone just?
I don't know what. I think that's a holdover from when we used to use that as the equipment cage for all the most expensive equipment in the company, like cameras and things like
Yeah.
that.
Oh.
Now we just keep our snacks in this.
Because I
like,
thought there was
high
someone
security
just there, kind of like watching over, like, are you taking those snacks?
I feel like that would be the dream office. Though.
I think,
The
yeah, of
snack
course.
cage.
Well, he
And you
counts
stay in there?
He sits in there and counts your calories.
I want snack
Yeah,
cake.
how many calories
It's
you
an
eat?
accountant that just in there and just tracks everybody. He sends you your macros at the end of the day.
That's actually super convenient.
It's just being in the snack cage. I want to be in the
I
snack
wouldn't want to see it though, because that's my nightmare. Is like, just even having that there is just that's my Achilles heel. I can eat literally 24 hours a day.
You
I
want me
can
to
just
go
eat.
You want to trade? You want to trade the
Well,
ability to eat?
yeah.
I just don't have an appetite.
I
right?
just want. Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
don't ever get hungry.
Correct.
It used to be that way. It'll end for you one day
It'll
as well,
end,
and I'll be there to laugh at you.
I have to feed
I
him
will-
while he sleeps.
That metabolism. It'll slip away.
She's got a syringe of food that she's
I'm
just
dead.
injecting directly into my heart, you know?
Yeah.
So do you just eat because other people are eating?
No, I eat because, I mean, I have a bit of an appetite, right? Where I'll just feel super exhausted and like death And so I'm like, my body must be hungry. I'm gonna shove some stuff in. But the thing is, like if I had a burger, for example, a burger's like a great example. I'll take a bite and I'll be like, I am full. I could stop right now.
I think it's in your head.
It might be.
Because you're not full.
I'm not
Because you're not that bite's not gonna fill you.
You know how
I don't get my
Unbreakable,
appetite back.
dude, is like Mr. Glass is the exact opposite. Here we go, right
This
here.
is it.
Because I have no idea what the fuck you're talking
What would
about.
our movie be? The unfillable.
One bite of a hamburger, and you're done.
You're the unfillable, and I would be
Mr. Gas.
Mr. Full.
yeah.
I saw some joke, and you could probably relate to this more than these guys can, Fiona, but how in the morning you wake up and it's like, man, my stomach looks good right now. And then you eat a crumb and it's like, I'm pregnant now.
Oh yeah.
It's a food baby.
I feel so good in the morning. I'm like,
Hell yeah.
okay. Like, cause the night before you'll eat and you'll feel like, and you're like, okay, tomorrow morning, new me. You sleep and then you wake up and you're like, I'm good. And then you eat like, you even drink. You drink coffee. It's
gone.
Your waist gone.
That flat stomach is just like
Rectangle.
you thought.
Yeah, you thought. You thought. You thought.
Do you weigh yourself on a regular basis?
I weigh myself like
Mornings, or-
maybe once a week.
But you do it at a specific time in specific
It's
conditions,
always
right?
the morning after I
Always the
pee
morning, yeah.
naked.
Yeah.
I mean,
you
you don't
have
think
to
it's-
be
You
naked.
have to be complete. If I'm wearing a t-shirt, that extra like quarter of a
It's like
pound.
$5
It
grand.
doesn't work. Yeah.
She's like, hold
No
on.
way. No way.
Can't do it.
And then you go to the doctor's office and they weigh you, and you're wearing like your jeans.
I
and
hate
leather.
that. I hate. Why do
on.
they do that? They let me stay and everything. I'm like, that's not my real weight though.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
like,
Let me
you
get
like-
naked real quick. Yeah.
See, I think I'm like that with my height. Like I went to the doctor's recently,
yeah.
and she was like, measure me up. She's like, oh, you're 6 foot. I'm like, can we do that again? Because I don't really think you're 6
My
foot.
back
More
was
time.
like,
And then she was like,
I wasn't bringing it.
she's like, oh, you're 6'1". I'm like, all right, that's exactly
I was
what
like,
I'm at.
let me lay down for a couple hours and really just
Hold
let my
on.
spine just
Hold on.
stretch out.
I wasn't ready for that one. You know, you didn't say go.
yeah.
you didn't say go.
Yeah.
He didn't say go.
Ready now.
Go.
I've been told 6 foot all my life. I don't want to be told I'm 6 foot now. It's just,
Yeah.
I wanna live
You have
that
to
life.
like kind of stretch your back before.
What if you like? Oh, we were talking. So we filmed Haunter earlier this week.
Can you say where?
I don't know, so I won't.
Haunted place?
I'm gonna keep it a
You
secret.
were in a cold
We were in a chilly place, which is a lot of places, and we were talking about.
Cold is an indication that there's ghosts nearby.
That's
It's
true.
a paranormal sign.
Yeah, the whole city apparently haunted.
all of wherever.
We were talking about this
Seattle.
thing called, and I think it was Gavin that brought it up, so we might have talked about it on the other podcast, but it was called the Ring Dinger, where this guy is a chiropractor. I've never been to a
love
chiropractor.
this guy.
Sits you down on the table. You know what? Why don't I just demonstrate? Just
Why
move
not?
out.
I can even do an imitation of the guy.
Yeah, come
Oh,
on.
boy.
You have a towel?
I think his name's
Oh,
Greg
God.
Stevens. Dr. Greg Stevens, your Houston
What is happening?
chiropractor.
So you go like this. You get your things up here.
So it's a platform that comes up.
Ring
So-
I was
finger
like, don't
and then he
burns.
takes a
two-
pole and he puts one here and he puts one here to lock your hips in place.
So like they squeeze against your femur.
Then he takes
A hammer.
a towel.
Here we go.
What's happening?
Oh, I'm gonna get a budget ring ding.
I know the whole thing here. So he takes a towel.
This is the chiropractor?
He's in Houston too. We go see this guy.
Oh man.
Oh, I could get a ring ding.
I've looked at
That'll
it.
add
You
an
come like
inch,
this with
an
the
inch to
towel.
your height.
What the
Don't
hell
try
are you
this.
doing?
Don't try this. Somebody does like this, and then he just goes like this.
No.
Bam! Back.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, and then you go.
Oh,
It pulls you.
And then he
And
comes
what
up, then
does
he
he
comes up and he goes
pull?
like this. And he goes bonk, bonk, just like that.
Yeah, to make sure
make
that
sure your legs work.
that he didn't break your back and paralyze you.
But it takes
That
your
sounds
whole
so
spine, it
dangerous.
pulls it straight.
Yeah.
Like,
Sounds
What
so
is it?
dangerous.
So it's like,
It, like,
just
it's-
readjusting.
yeah, I guess.
it's
I
like
don't know.
decompression, I think, is what it is.
Yeah.
It's a
So
Because that pop.
by the way,
is
do
kinda
not try to
like-
do that yourself at
Oh,
home.
absolutely.
Yeah,
don't.
you're
on
It's a great
anybody.
way to like.
Or on anybody.
Hurt your spine.
I learned a phrase in looking up. Can I do this myself?
Just go for it.
I learned a phrase called internal decapitation. It's you can decapitate yourself without breaking your skin, and you don't want to do that.
Yeah,
it's
no.
still bad.
Yeah,
It's not as bad as normal decapitation, but it's on the spectrum.
I imagine you.
So then, like, the person just like this, and it's just.
Yeah, they like you get pushed and the.
Your head would just.
Pretty sure nothing works when you
Oh
decapitate
my
yourself.
gosh.
Yeah,
I think
no.
that's the
all
end.
over.
That's endgame.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I mean, you're even slightly paranoid about chiropractors
I gotta find this.
Yeah.
causing you some type of.
Yeah. Well, they get in
That's
there and
terrifying.
they whip
Yeah.
you around a little bit.
Just
I've
like
seen-
that.
It's your neck. I mean, you don't fuck with your neck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's like
Obviously,
small.
chiropractors know
So-
what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
If you go
body,
to a legit one.
you are like a.
$5
guy.
Tuesdays.
Guy in the
guy-
alleyway, yeah.
Yeah.
His name is Dr. Gregory Johnson. I said Stevens.
Gregory
Yeah,
Johnson.
gotcha.
I'm Dr. Gregory Johnson, she's a chiropractor. That's exactly what he says at the beginning of every video.
Nailed
Why
it.
is this table so
slide it.
sticky?
Yeah, don't worry about it. Let's slide up into Houston and get some ring dings. I'd love to see
I
what
would
happens.
100% do it, but I'm just too scared. Like, I don't go to a chiropractor because that's the one thing I don't want them doing. Also, after he does the big pull straight, then he comes back after checking your knees, comes back and just does these massive, like, twisting corrections to your neck. That's the kind of thing I just, like, I have a big fear about.
That's my favorite part.
Can you get it done?
I've been to the chiropractor, I want to say maybe 4 or 5 times tops in my whole life. And they do the thing where they go with your neck, and that feels great. Because that's the part that hurts me the most. Because I have a hunch.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I need to be.
You got a hunch? What's your hunch?
I've just seen too many videos.
Oh,
where
are you upset about a pun, jackass? Give me a break.
I've seen too many videos where they go in there and then they grab their head and they whip it, and then like they get a pop out of it.
It's not supposed to be a whip. It's more of just like a.
Listen, I've seen some whips.
Some quips.
Have you seen some nays?
There doesn't seem to be a
Not
standard
many
way to do
nays.
it. It seems like it's kind of like different schools teach a different way to wrench people's necks.
Yeah, I just don't want to break
weird.
my neck by accident.
That just
I don't
sounds
want to
like
be messing with
the
that.
scariest thing to teach someone.
Yeah, but it's like for medical doctors, MDs, you know, they don't, when you have heart surgery, they work on the heart. There's no guy who comes in through the back, you know? It's like, there's a standardization
I'm going to
of
start that.
I'm
going to come in, remove some ribs, and come in through the back.
We're just going to like,
Keep all your scars on the back.
we're just going to mush them into the side like that and then
Yeah.
come in that way from the side.
Why?
It's a better angle.
Both my uncles
Better angle.
are doctors of very, like, one's a dentist, but one is he was a general practitioner, now he's like sports medicine. He works with the Pacers, and so he knows a lot about physical medicine. And he doesn't fuck with chiropractic. What's the noun of it?
Chiropractic?
Yeah,
Chiropractic
the chiropractic work. Yeah. He's like, no, I wouldn't do that. And so like immediately I'm like, well, now I was curious, but now I don't know if I even want to dabble.
Well, you know,
You know what I mean?
there's two kinds of general practitioner doctors. Everyone knows MDs. That's the classic medical doctor. But there's also DOs, which are doctors of osteopathy. And it depends on who you talk to about it. That basically MDs try to establish themselves as the only type of medicine, and that DOs, that osteopathy was this ridiculous thing. Actually, it's a really big deal in Europe. I remember Ellie was amazed she couldn't find an osteopath anywhere in Austin. It was tough to find. It's just because it's been kind of driven into the fringe a little bit.
Gotcha.
It's weird. And the osteopaths, I bring it up because I believe they focus more on manipulation and alignment of the spine is part of it. And they do those manipulations, and that chiropractic care, I believe, came out of the osteopath,
Oh, really?
pathway for
Gotcha.
medicine. They went like for the first 2 years, and then started their own schools and took it from
Is it to the point? Is it like is it because of alternative medicine? Is it being kind of grouped into that camp, or is it finding itself in kind of like the nebulous zone between? Is that why people kind of?
Unfortunately, it's almost exactly the same and can perform the exact same functions. They can even go and do residencies, become surgeons, specialties the same way. Like you could have a dermatologist who's not an MD, but a dermatologist who's a DO.
Gotcha.
But they still go through the same specialty training that an MD goes through. Unfortunately, with the way it's kind of been pushed to the fringe a little bit, it's just for kids who couldn't get into the MD school. From
Gotcha.
like my friends who didn't do as well in the MCAT, they had to look down the osteopath train.
Do you guys all have a general practitioner?
I do.
You do?
Yeah,
Do you
but-
What does that mean?
Just like a general.
And who's your doctor?
Like,
Oh yeah.
like
Oh yeah. I
a
have that.
one
Yeah.
Main doctor.
Like
Yeah. And then I guess into like specialists.
I'm taking references because I don't have a doctor. Not here.
Do you have one?
I do now. I've only seen her once, but ever since I moved here, all I've gone to is just the lady doctor.
Yeah, that's usually the gynecologist is usually what
That's
most
the
ladies have.
important.
I have a lady doctor.
Me too.
one.
And she stuck her finger in my butt.
Oh.
I don't
Okay.
think you mean the same lady doctor that these two ladies mean.
Because I was having bladder issues. She's
Yeah.
like very thorough. She's like, you're a little young for this, but I mean, I want to be thorough and
Yeah.
check whatnot. And so I did the whole like
Oh, you did
prostate
that.
exam.
I
And she was like,
it's like that.
and, yeah.
Would they go down?
And she was like,
He was angled the other way.
you know?
He was on his back. He was like, I'll do it again for this.
He just
Get
had a
me,
ring.
doctor.
He just had a ring finger. You're already in the position.
right
Let's
in the
go.
other way.
No, he had the ring finger.
No.
But she told me, she was like, if you feel uncomfortable with me doing it,
Yeah.
you can go to a male doctor. And then she's like, but sworn you, they have bigger fingers. And I was like,
Oh,
your finger,
okay,
your
yeah.
finger. Let's do this.
Did
Insurance is covering it. I mean, let's go with a bigger finger. Why
was
not?
it one or two fingers?
Just one. Jesus Christ.
I think two. I don't know shit about
Was it? I couldn't tell.
Do you think you would
couldn't
be able to
tell.
count the number of fingers in your
Actually,
rectum?
yeah. Now I don't
Honestly,
know.
I don't know.
No,
Like if someone was going like this up
it felt
in
like
there,
a felt like a
maybe
push
like-
on the
if
prostate.
they were doing this then.
and that was it.
3.
But what if they were, hold on, bear with me, did this in there? Would
4? I don't know.
I didn't feel any spirit fingers on my ass, so I'm pretty sure it was just a 2. Yeah.
It's some jazz hands in your ass. Jesus Christ.
You know what that reminds me of, though? This reminds me of...
Jazz hands.
I gotta see if I can find it here. It's probably the funniest thing that I've ever read on Reddit.
Oh, are you talking about the guy who got the prostate exam and
He got a prostate exam
found
from
a
his...
new love for that?
Like,
Oh.
I'll look it up and I'll read you this. I don't want to read an entire
How long-
Reddit story on here. But
How long do they keep the finger in the butt for?
They probably just have to like check like a quick.
Is it just like
She
a...
counts out loud for about 360
She
seconds.
lubes it up.
time slows to a
You know.
crawl. Your fingers in there.
I just want the details.
She lubes it up. Let you know. She's like, hey, I'm going in.
This man just spewing out.
And then she just like pushes on the prostate, gets a feel for it,
Okay.
and then whoop, right out.
Gets a feel
it's like
for
a
it, gets
quick,
used to it, gets accustomed to it, gets to know it,
I only ask because
rips it out.
I've had
Yoink.
multiple lady doctors.
Yeah.
And when you get your little lady exam done, which is the pap smear, where they pull a little speculum in your vagina, crank it open, take some swabs in
Oh
there.
yeah, they have machines.
we're
Like
getting
it's
graphic.
full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that kind of podcast.
I've had doctors before where it's just like, crank, swab, done. I just went to a doctor last week who was literally just like, swab, 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 swab. Like, it literally, I was just like telling her about my entire week as she was swabbing my vagina.
And you're just like, you're like, hey, when are you done?
Yeah, I was just like, how am I doing up there?
Exactly how many swabs does it take?
How many swabs you got in there?
I'm running out of anecdotes. Can we move the swabs along?
Yeah, that's-
please?
Can I read you the intro to the story and then you can go
Yeah.
look it up? It's
Please.
it's in the sex subreddit. A 23-year-old male just discovered prostate stimulation and I prefer to sex with my girlfriend. Help, like by a lot. Help, help, help. And he writes, first, sorry for the way I wrote this. Writing it this way, I'm really embarrassed by all of this, and it was the only way I could convince myself that I could post it, even anonymously. So just bear with me, okay?
Okay.
This starts in a stupid, embarrassing way. I'm 23, but my doc decides he wants to do a prostate exam during my physical. Quick question, isn't that like 20 years early? Okay, so
pretty early.
he pushes in, and it's the first time anyone's ever been in there. Like, ever. And 2 things happen within 3 seconds. I get idiotically, you could bend a steel bar around my dick stupid hard. And I groan involuntarily and explosively and horrifically. My doctor laughed his ass off. I mean, he laughed.
Yo, I would laugh.
There's a man laughing while his finger's in your ass.
How do you?
And told me it was okay. Really, he says, it's pretty common. But his face tells me, not that common. Dutifully, I went to Reddit and looked this shit up. Reddit fucking loves it when some straight guys are getting off on the prostate. So, okay, I said to myself, let's buy a fucking drumstick and let's do this thing. It goes on for like 10 paragraphs after that. The best thing I've ever seen
It was
written.
incredibly
What are
written.
the other 10 paragraphs? What is he talking
Just
about?
Look, you're talking about different sizes and measurements and
He goes
tools.
home and tries to
Oh, he
recreate
tries
that
it.
feeling.
Okay, so he
Yeah.
goes, it's out of the doctor's office.
I believe there was a drumstick involved.
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like. Yeah.
And he had
He's
to buy
got a-
2 to
That's
make
a
it seem
full-
I'm sure he's got a
Memoir.
whole spread
Yeah.
with varying diameters and lengths. And
Oh, like a
feels.
single drumstick, please. Do you sell these individually or?
No.
It's like he's into by 2. So you want to
Only
raise
two.
any
I
red
only-
flags.
I only need the one.
I
Just
just
get a
need
mold
the
of that
one.
doctor's hand.
Enough.
That's Dr. Magic
You
Touch.
can make molds.
Yeah, you can mold anything.
Not secretly. I don't think you can.
Yeah. You're like, I need another exam, doctor. And then you just sneak a tube of jelly or something.
Some jelly.
And then he sticks, and then you got his mold.
Oh, I think there's something wrong with you.
There's something wrong.
Like,
We
wait,
want
it's
some jelly
setting.
here.
It's setting.
Well, when you're in any kind of
squishy.
medical situation, like the veneer of humanity just gets stripped away. Like Lindsay just had a kid. That's just like a long, horrible process, honestly. Like a horrible physical process. You talk to baby looking tough. It's the moms are looked like they've been through a war.
You
Yeah.
threw a fucking human in you.
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
got it out.
And you got it. Oh my god.
And not through the back. You got it
You got it, yeah.
That procedure
normal
hasn't been
way.
Right
invented
at
yet.
the front, right at the front
figure it out.
door.
First heart surgery, then babies.
I had hip surgery once, and like the same thing. It's like I had to poop in front of everyone. I had to pee, like, and you just like you're like I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like,
hip surgery?
I had hip surgery. I played volleyball.
Oh,
I played
really?
volleyball, I did so many sports, and then my hip sort of just like, hey, you're not doing too good.
Like,
Did they
were
fix
just
it or
like-
give you a new hip?
No, so it was gone. Like half of it, or most of it was gone. So I was like,
Did it just wear away after playing sports?
yeah, it was a cyst like that was eating it,
Oh,
and then
shit.
but like the more you like exercise, it gives oxygen to the cyst. So I was eating it, and then I was like, I can't walk anymore. My parents like, you got to turn 18 for the insurance so we can go to the hospital. So I was waiting until 18, you know. But no, then I did it. I had 5 surgeries on my hip.
Wow.
Yeah, 5. But
All
like,
done and settled though now?
oh yeah, it's
Like,
good now. I mean,
good.
it hurts a little bit, but it's like
Now she got like a
so much
robotic
better.
hip.
Oh, hell
You know
yeah.
what I'm
Now
saying?
she can
that
kick
was-
like,
But like I literally grew a new hip.
really?
I
That's
totally
so
grew. I
fascinating.
grew basically a new hip. They didn't do a hip replacement because they're like, you're way too young.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
like
The
way
body's
too young.
fucking
Good.
dope when it does stuff like that.
It just made a new hip. Like it's,
Yeah.
Then you
it
get
works.
older and
It
don't do that.
It doesn't
Yeah.
do it as well.
Metabolism slows
It
down.
turns
All your
out-
scars become.
It was good
just
that I
sit
was
there
young
forever.
because it was like I'm growing still,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, I would just put. It was disgusting. I was like so embarrassed at the beginning, but I was like, I don't fucking care. Put that catheter
You have
in
to
me.
kind of
Yeah.
I
remember
don't
that doctors see little,
They
like
see,
literally fucking
they
everything.
see everything.
Yeah.
all the time.
Like
So it just doesn't matter.
when I was at the doctor last week, you know how you're completely naked under
Yeah,
that
oh,
gown,
yeah.
and it's like paper thin.
Mhm.
And then they come in, they check you. I mean, when you're at the lady doctor, they check all your boobs and stuff
Mhm.
for any
All of the
lumps or
boobs.
anything. All the boobs.
All 3
Like,
of them.
and they're
all three
all
of
up in
them,
your
yeah.
everything. They check your uterus, all that jazz. My doctor left because she finished the exam, and I was about to get changed, so I took the robe off and everything.
Yeah.
And then I hear the door knock and open a little bit, and she's like, "Hey, Barbara, I just wanted to ask you one more thing." She wasn't even in the room, but I still covered myself up. And I was like, "You literally just saw everything."
Yeah, there's nothing to hide at that point. Oh no!
Yeah.
Don't look at me like this.
Yeah, they see so many people, and I also like at this point, I'm like,
It doesn't.
you're not gonna remember me. I'm never
Yeah.
gonna see you again, likely.
Like
I mean,
how-
unless it's your GP or like
Yeah.
the people that you go and see
Yeah.
frequently. But I'm like, whatever.
But like, how many people do they see naked? Like, they're not gonna remember
Constantly. Yeah.
how your dick looked. They don't give a shit.
Well,
They don't give a
wish.
shit.
Oh, don't remember
They
the
wish.
life.
I mean, it'll sit with them for at least a night.
Makes
You know
quite
what
an
I'm saying?
impression.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those
nightmares.
things where
My God.
being in a medical situation is like the kryptonite for any kind of like
Yeah.
sexual situation. Even if you had somebody who was a supermodel, a dude or a lady going in there, completely gorgeous, they're there to talk about, you know, the failings
Right.
of their mortal coil. You know, it's
Yeah.
gonna be like, okay, this person's attractive, but we're okay. You got a bump where? Okay.
I think I have a fissure right
What's
on my
leaking?
anus,
Yeah.
and I need you to
So
get in
you're
there.
pooping blood.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's great.
Hot.
I also love doctors that don't even pretend like they know what it is. They're like, I've never seen this before. I'm gonna go look that up. I always
Yeah.
appreciate that more so.
The can-
Oh really? That's never happened.
Yeah.
Oh my
Me
God, I'd be
neither.
scared. I'd be like, uh-oh,
That
this
happened
is
to me
bad.
with my
Get house in here.
Chigger Bites.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went
What?
we went up to Lindsay's ranch, and then
Happy
I went
first
to
birthday.
Jackie.
Yeah.
Jackie and I went shooting with Lindsay's dad, and we were up in the tall grass, and then just laying down, and I was like, cool. And then I was like, I looked, and my ankles had just red spots on them, and I was like, what's
The
that?
ticks?
And I was like,
They're-
hopefully that goes away in the morning.
I'm surprised you found them that fast because they're bugs that like burrow under the skin, and like I think once they die or something is when the bites appear. I forget how.
So
it
apparently,
works.
Yeah.
I think that's what like most people think they do is burrow, but really they just like they stick their little like I don't know, just nose,
Proboscis.
their like
Proboscis.
nose into your
Proboscis.
skin,
my
and
favorite Transformer.
and then they like put in their like I don't know, they're like they salivate into your skin, and then they
Hot.
syrup up all the juices.
Bugs,
And then saliva they
bugs
injected to
are
make
oof.
that
Yeah.
straw. That's what
Yeah.
irritates you, right? It's like the
Yeah.
leftovers, like tube.
Yeah.
You get like, oh, sorry, go
Yeah,
ahead.
so I woke up the next morning and it spread up my leg, and I was like, "That's bad."
Yep.
Yeah.
And so then I went to the ER, and they were just like, one doctor's like, "I don't know what this is," because it wasn't bump, because it was so early that it was just spots. It was just a spot. There was no bump.
I'm
There was no
surprised
itch.
in Texas they wouldn't
Yeah.
instantly know that's a
Two
chicken.
doctors didn't know,
Wow.
and then I like the day later we went down to go shoot the weird place stuff, and then that's when I broke out, like
Oh,
literally like
no.
hundreds of bites from
Yeah.
my legs up to like my thighs.
Why
Scary.
Why
Yeah.
is it doing so many bites? Is it because they're
I
dying?
guess I was no,
I mean, he
I
must have
was
been
I was like in a
literally- he
nest
probably-
of them. I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
You
You weren't
probably
shorts
found,
or something?
I was wearing jeans.
There's also some people,
There's like
and
a
I'm one of
spray
them.
base.
Barbara's one of them too. We just get bit by more bugs.
Mosquitoes all the time.
I don't know what it is. Finally found out my blood type. It's A. And
That's probably my blood type too. Then
Yeah.
I don't know what mine is.
I need to
gotta
figure my
that
blood
out.
type.
Yeah, figure that out.
Like I got my appendix out, and I've donated blood as well, and like those are both great and like great times where you could be like, "What's my blood type?" And like they'll never give it over the phone, so you always have to go in because it's what's the there's a
HIPAA.
Oh, is it the
HIPAA, right? That's what it's called. Where they can't
Privacy.
Yeah, the freedom of information.
But even if
basically.
it's you calling.
Yeah, but they can't prove that. I can't prove that.
Even,
So yeah, you have to go in and you have to go to the facility and show your ID, and then they'll whatever. So I've just never done it. But my mom, just like that, super sweet blood, bugs. Whew. My dad, not that way, and like I feel like I'm semi that way. Like I don't know what blood type would be in the middle, right? But like if I'm next to her, she'll get it all. I won't really get bit at all.
True.
Same with my mom.
I tell everyone
but-
if you ever don't want to get bit by a mosquito, just bring me where you're going.
Yeah.
Because they'll just come to me.
It's like
so sad.
blonde citronella.
But I have the same thing. Yeah,
But,
I get bit
but if
all
I'm
the
next to my
time.
dad, yeah, then I'm the one that's like lit up with mosquito bites.
Oh
But-
God, mosquitoes, man.
We had that. We were RTX last time. I had people over to my house for drinks, and I was like, "There's bug spray for everyone who's out of town. Get it." And it was Casey from the Filthy Casual group. Castile, is that what she goes? Their moniker online?
Castiles, I think.
Castiles, yeah. She said that because oh no, I'm from Edmonton. We have horrible mosquitoes here. The Texas mosquitoes don't have anything on it. The next day, she was like, "What the fuck happened to me?"
Yeah.
She got destroyed.
Yeah.
Just
They are
sitting
no
there.
joke.
They're no joke.
I've been bit enough. Like one time I was rock climbing and it was just damp. It was in the woods, so like
Breeding ground.
yeah, breeding ground. I got to the point where I could feel every single bite. Like it hurt.
Yeah.
And that reminds me, there was a Reddit post many months ago about this girl who lives in Siberia, and in the summer in Siberia, like it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. But she had a selfie of her in a field, and her face was just covered in mosquito bites.
Oh.
And it's such a common occurrence there that there's so many mosquitoes, they have no effect. Like there's no itching, there's no bite that shows up. They don't feel it. Maybe they feel it, but they get used to it. But
some
like
people in the world who don't have an allergy to mosquito bites, which I think like the majority of humans do. That's why we get the welts and the itchiness. But I think some people just don't get that allergic reaction to mosquito bites.
That's Ashley. She has like 1/10 the reaction that I do. Like, so if I get a mosquito bite on my leg, I don't know why I get them on my leg so much, but I get them on my leg, it'll be there a week. I'll have the bump there. It'll stay there a week. Ashley's is gone in like an hour and a half.
What the hell?
Yeah. And she just,
Man, I
just never
wish.
affects
She's
her.
like, wow, that's all right.
I
we'll go
wish
there.
that-
Unfortunate.
if I ignore it and I just get over the hump of not scratching it for that instance where everyone knows what I'm talking about if they have the allergic reaction, where the itch is insurmountable. Like you need to scratch it. If you can like resist that, it will never itch again. But somewhere in my 20s, I started getting what my mom has, which is like they will just bruise now. Whether I scratch it or not, they'll just go red, and it'll just like, that's how I'll find them now. I'll be like, I have a mosquito bite. Like I just got this huge bruise on my leg. I have no idea why it just randomly
I
started.
punch in my sleep.
She punches in her sleep.
It's a good cover, though. Good cover.
Dude, you speaking of like mosquitoes biting the face, there was a woman about a year ago who had like a lump kind of like right under her eye.
No, don't even.
And then she woke up and it was on her lip. And then
Was it moving?
by the end of the day, it was like above her head. Yeah, it was a parasite that was moving around her face.
It's a movie?
It was a parasite that was moving around her face.
Wait, is this a real life?
Yeah, yeah.
This is.
Man.
Do you remember, Bernie? This
it's like
was
bot
like
flies.
I was like,
I can't get Chad on mobile, can I? Because that's not possible.
I think he gets his number in Slack.
What's that?
Slack?
Chat or
No,
chat?
a chat. I'm
Oh,
gonna
chat.
just see if I can see chat.
We got chat right here. Bernie Burns.
Do.
Oh, there we go. That works. Why do we have
While
that?
you peruse the chat,
Why we don't have that?
What's the broadcast? What's going on? You
Listen,
guys gave them the chat feed
we
right
have
there.
specific needs and respect. We have
Bubba?
respect.
No, we just got to keep on time for this podcast, right,
Yeah.
Trevor?
It's because we show up 15 minutes early and you guys take us for fucking granted. Isn't that right, broadcast?
Wow.
How do we keep on time?
I can see it right there. What's
Clocks. Oh. Nice segue. Let me tell you how you can keep on time. This episode of Off Topic is brought to you by Movement. No one disrupts the status quo and looks good doing it quite like our team over at Movement Watches. Movement watches, sunglasses, and accessories are designed in LA, and the styles are super sleek, clean, and fashion forward. Movement is the fastest growing watch company in the world, and tons of people are wearing their products, including us, for good reason. From their sunglasses to their watches, you can't go wrong with any of them. I personally love their Hustle watch. It's sleek and looks great. I always get compliments from all of my Movement gear. They just dropped their first ever automatic watch, the Arc Automatic, and they have the black top collection inspired by the 1960s American muscle cars. Plus, as much as we love our screens, the fact is they're draining on our eyes. So check out Movement's Ever-Scroll glasses that protect your eyes from harmful blue light so you can keep on gaming. Movement watches start at just $95, so you're looking at $400 to $500 for the same quality from traditional brands. So get 15% off today with free shipping and free returns by going to mvmt.com/offtopic. Movement's launching new styles all the time, so check out their latest at mvmt.com. Go to Movement today, mvmt.com/offtopic.
What are you pointing at?
Her name, Blondie Lee, spelled exactly like your original screen name on Roosterteeth. Just want to point out, no babies were dropped in the reading of that ad, right?
Statistically,
23%. That's
about 5.
Still wild.
Me and Trevor realized we have the exact same Movement sunglasses when we went to Cancun a couple months ago because we both got dressed to go outside. And we're like, are those my sunglasses?
It's like,
we did it again.
Someone's got to change.
Where I was like, how did my glasses teleport inside? And they're just yours.
Yeah,
they look nice, and I got the polarized ones too, so I can you can tell they're polarized if you angle it and
then there's like a reflection type.
Because it cuts the glare off windows and the water. And stuff like that.
Wow.
It's really nice.
I just got JD a pair because we're going to go sailing.
Nice.
Last time I got destroyed by mosquitoes was that same situation where we were at a restaurant like right on the beach and it was raining and we're in the Caribbean, so it's already a bad environment for mosquitoes to begin with. It's raining, it's at night, and then all of a sudden the power goes out. And I thought, I'm fucking dead. And I could hear them, It's like, what's that Vin Diesel movie when it goes...
Pitch Black?
Yeah, Pitch Black. It's like as soon as the lights went, I was like, I'm fucking dead. And sure enough, I got destroyed by mosquitoes.
You just see like a little mosquito tongue come out like...
Sniffing out under the door.
Gross.
It's the carbon dioxide.
Do you remember?
Yes.
I want to say like 5-6 years ago. It was a summer in Austin when we were still down south in 636. When the cricket problem was happening in Austin. Do you remember this? And we had crickets in the studio.
It's happened like 3 or 4 times since I've lived here. It's like this weird cyclical thing that happens.
Oh, yeah. It was like,
I know
if you go anywhere outside during the summer, it's like crickets all up on the buildings and everywhere, like flying everywhere. They're in the studio, so if you were there past like 7 p.m. when it started to get dark, they would just start flying around in the studio. So I would sit at my desk. This is when I was working at RTX, and I would have a bug zapper right next to me, so I could just like.
You're like Luke training with the.
And they would always make such a like loud sound because they're huge.
There's like a thing with the cicadas or something.
Yep.
Where they like come from like the ground.
Is it that 10 or 15 years thing?
Yeah, and they just start. It happened like 4 years ago, and I was upstate in New York when I was there, and like. We couldn't drive. Like, it was just everywhere. It was disgusting. And then, like, the windshield wipe.
You know what else it really sucks for? Which you guys are doing a lot more of these days? It really sucks for production.
Yep.
So in a year where the cicadas are super high, you know how one of the big things you always have to do when you're shooting anywhere is you got to stop for fucking airplanes.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in Austin because it's not a very big town
Especially us
geographically.
Who are in the flight path.
And we're in the flight path here. This used to be the old airport, so guess what? It's the flight path. And... yeah, cicadas though, I think it's every 7 years when they come around, it's just almost impossible to shoot exteriors in the summer. What's that giggle about?
Nothing. Just being a couple over here.
You're just smiling at each other.
Yeah, you got to get room tone. You got to say, all right, cicadas, quiet down. Quiet down now.
Well, the cicadas have all unionized. That's the real problem. If you catch them on camera, it's like a brand or singing a song.
Damn it.
And then you owe them royalties.
Damn it, Bernie.
Is speaking of unions considered political much anyway? It's not a major talking point, but it was a huge talking point when unions were first coming about.
No, I think it is still for a lot of people.
Yeah,
I mean,
people still have like
Walmart's always trying to fight the unions. People unionizing there. But yeah, I think it is still.
Yeah.
Anytime the working class tries to do anything to better their situation, it becomes a political issue.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't want that. Gotcha. Did you? Since we're in the financial part of the podcast, did you guys see the fucking crazy story? And I'm sorry, I'm not an NBA fan, or I guess he's NCAA. The guy who was the first round draft pick candidate was for sure the guy. His Nike shoe ripped apart 20 seconds in to a game, destroyed his knee, And Nike, from the photo of this guy laying on the ground holding his knee with a shoe just exploded.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Is they've lost $1.1 billion in stock valuation.
How did it explode? What was in it?
It's just like, I'm sure there's a billion pictures of it. I'm sure we can pull one up.
Yeah.
Do they
You
do
can't
that on
pump up them shoes too high. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. He's over there.
Like in Austin Powers.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's so much height.
Damn, I forgot about
Do
those
any
shoes.
of you even remember those shoes?
Yes.
I don't. I was
100%,
not.
yes.
I skipped those trends.
just nodding
I missed the light up shoes. I missed those pumping
Was
shoes.
it LA Gear, something like that?
But
Did you have
Yeah,
the
I-
wheelies? Or
Did you get the
wheelies?
wheelies?
no,
Heelys.
missed
Yeah.
those. Missed the grinding ones.
Where were you?
I was from afar, enjoying enviously
Trevor's
as the other
actually
kids
17
stomped
years
around in those
old.
lines.
No.
I mean, I watched enviously, but I
Pogs?
did get no.
Oh, I remember Pogs.
I did slip into those slime shoes.
Slime
Yeah.
shoes.
Once again, feet up on the table. Along the, right here, they had a little pouch of like sparkly purple and like green slime that because slime was a huge. It still kind of is apparently on YouTube. But
It's
for
like an ASMR
Nickelodeon,
thing.
Yeah, it is.
oh, it is
I
I
make
just-
slime.
you make the
I like
fart-
making them.
in the can stuff.
Like when
But it
I
had
want
fart
to
in the can.
Slime.
And
But it had slime in the side of the shoe, and you could like mess with it, and like it wouldn't mix the colors. It was
Oh,
cool.
what?
And then
never had that.
then I found out, if you left it out in the sun, the slime would like bake to just dark brown.
Yeah.
And you're like, great, my slime's ruined.
No, it's just a different color.
Oh,
They're
It's
just
not sparkly
coloring
green, all right.
It wasn't the same.
custom.
You can make it
so
pretty
you guys-
easily. You guys should make it in the office.
We should.
love
I want to.
Borax and Elmer's glue,
make
I want
right?
to convert
Yeah,
these shoes
yeah,
to slime
exactly.
shoes.
Make slime.
We'll do that
wanna do
on
it.
the upcoming. So okay, that's a good segue. We got a pilot coming out on Monday for first members.
What?
He flies planes.
There's no way that anyone was going to guess what the. What'd you say?
That's a good joke.
There's no way that.
Sorry, we're having a couples moment.
Oh, no,
Sorry about
okay.
that.
You should have been there for it.
Yeah.
There's no way that anyone's going to guess what the. I think I said AHMSS in my tweet about it because I was super happy that we finally filmed it because it's something that's been cooking in my brain for like a year, and it's nice to finally have the time to do it and just get it out of
HMSS.
which is Achievement Hunter,
MS.
MSS.
Oh, Achievement Hunter.
Just so you know, couple moment. But anyway, yeah. So we have what's called the Achievement Hunter Morning Show, the Achievement Hunter Morning Show, because the name of the show is Morning Show, and it's the Morning Show.
Don't explain it. Go keep going.
Don't hate for any. I'm listening.
You're getting there.
But anyway, that pilot is coming out on Monday for first members YouTube. It'll hit on Tuesday. Really excited about it. It's a work in progress. It'll it'll find itself over a couple episodes or more. Like I want it to kind of evolve and change. So I'm really excited about that coming out. It's Jeremy and I, and we have the morning segment where we do things like breakfast themed things. Like this time we had Barista Jeff, and then we have the show segment on the back end, which is to simplify it, like challenge videos, just doing things that we would like. And that was a great idea that I'll probably try to do now. Is I want to turn these shoes, feet up on the table again. I want to turn these shoes into slime shoes. How am I going to do it? I don't know, but that's a great venue for me to do that.
I think
Hard.
Fiona is your woman for
Yeah,
this.
I'll
She knows that.
Let's
slime.
do it.
Cook up a
I'll
fresh
make
batch of
slime.
slime.
See, all I'm picturing is, have you guys all seen Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs?
Yes.
Where little Flynn, when he's a kid, makes those like
Oh yes,
slime shoes.
yeah.
But they're not slime, it's like that
It was like the weird
It's like flubber.
spray on
yeah.
slime shoes. That's all I'm picturing right now. It's
Oh
just
yeah,
you having
it's gonna be
those.
totally
And
exactly
you getting
that.
stuck in them too.
I'll do it.
Oh my god, the slime
like
shoes.
shenanigans.
But I don't want to get away from it.
does.
Exploding. So he exploded out of his shoe.
Oh, right, yeah, what the fuck?
Career ruining.
Do we get an image of that by any
potentially, right?
chance?
Do they show
Exploding
images on Off Topic?
Do y'all
Is that
do
what
y'all
it
just
is?
do y'all just get the chat and that's it?
We have the technology.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I don't
so
know what you guys are working with.
Yeah,
he's a Duke player. I mean, people who follow college basketball are gonna think I'm an idiot because I don't know this guy.
Yeah.
But it's like that just goes to show how big this story got.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not following college basketball,
Yeah.
and I've seen this picture like 15,000 times.
Man.
Yeah, and they
mean,
lost $1.1 billion.
I'm not surprised because probably athletes
That's
don't
it.
want
That's what happened to the shoe. That's his foot coming through.
How did that happen?
So
It was sewed wrong.
It
then.
looks like
It
the
was something-
stitching along the sole.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the wall of the shoe is what busted.
One of the theories that I've
He
heard
grew an extra foot.
is that Nike obviously sends these to major basketball teams that hey, just use our shoes, and they just send them
Yeah.
whatever they
Yeah,
want.
yeah.
Ton of shoes. Theory is maybe somebody got a big box of these, opened the package with a razor and cut one of the shoes,
Yeah.
and then it just exploded when he put it on his foot. Or when he, I'm sure he planted and tried to pivot or something like that, and just
They're big
ripped
guys.
apart.
I can't imagine the forces at
What is
play.
that? Hello?
They've got something going on.
in a really super extreme close-up.
Zoomed in.
I can't imagine the forces at play with a giant guy like that pivoting, jumping, landing, because like
I mean,
Yeah.
they're strong, but they get ups.
I
You know,
played
like,
basketball, and
Yeah.
you need shoes. Like you need shoes, especially for your ankles.
Oh, yeah.
I had
And
to
like,
wear ankle
but
braces.
like when I saw that, it's like his ankle. Obviously, he like pivoted
Yeah.
wrong, and that shoe just like
So
completely
your
ripped
knee
open.
probably went.
Oh yeah, because that's like
Yeah.
exactly what happened.
This reminds me of one of the very early dates I had with Jackie, because
Exploded
her and
shit.
I were courting each other and whatnot, and I was like,
Courting. What is it? Yeah.
It's like when you look at each other in the club, you're like,
we're just kind of feeling each other out. Like she would do this thing where she's like, "Oh man,
Their
I want-"
family sent them to each other's
yeah,
castles.
exactly."
That kind of thing.
She was like, "Oh, yeah, I want to play games with you. Let's play CS:GO." And she didn't play any type of shooters whatsoever. So Counter-Strike was like.
So what, she had done research and saw CSGO as a game? Wow, that's
No, I
jumping
mean,
into the deep
she
end.
plays a ton of games, but
Okay.
like especially like she plays Siege, whatnot. But Counter Strike is not her jam.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of people's jam.
It's really not.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh man, she was just like, oh, I want to hang out. I'm like, well, I'm gonna go play some pickup games with my brother at the court, the indoor court. And I was like, I mean, you can come along, you can sit on the sidelines, whatnot. I was like, oh, cool. She could be there, like watching me while I get my shots on. Literally the first play, I go up for a rebound, land, roll my ankle,
Oh my
and I'm like, ah!
You're just on the ground.
She's just there like, oh shit. And I was like,
That was such a Dave Chappelle delivery. I love that.
that was the most uncool thing that could have happened to me.
Have you guys you and Ashley ever played any sports together?
But there was a lot of things we did on The Amazing Race.
yeah, that's true.
Ashley's a snowboarder, primarily. I mean, I played baseball growing up in football. So, no, I mean, we don't have a lot of crossover in terms of that stuff.
I don't think we've ever played.
Y'all should go rollerblading.
Well, we do.
I see a bunch of people rollerblading.
Lime scootering.
We do a lot of couch surfing. Yeah. We do a lot of ocular exercises.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Just it goes hand in hand with the couch surfing. Watching shows.
Ocular pat-downs.
Really exercising the brain when I sleep and dream about crazy things. No, I don't do a lot of. We don't do a lot of
play
sports.
together. I used to play a lot of sports. In high
What did you
school.
used to play?
I played basketball. I played football for 3 years.
Oh man.
Like football, not soccer.
Oh no.
Handball.
Sorry, I play soccer.
And then I played volleyball for 1 year.
Yeah.
And I played, I'm very embarrassed to say, ultimate frisbee for 2 years.
Did you really? I didn't know that.
That's awesome.
Played ultimate frisbee? Did you call it ultimate though?
I did not. Because
She called it frisbee just to bug everybody.
yeah, I didn't take it that seriously, like Caleb did.
Field hockey in there anywhere?
No, I was never into hockey. Like playing
Is field hockey a thing in Canada though?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean,
But if
most
their
people-
field was just ice.
Well, it's just hockey's like a religion up there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, there's street hockey, there's ice hockey,
Yeah.
there's field hockey, a lot of
I
different.
feel like we all have like pretty decent sports backgrounds. When I was a kid, I did like soccer, basketball, football, baseball. I hit like every major
Never played
American
soccer.
sport. And then as I went through high school or like middle school and high school, I did taekwondo for a bit, and then overlapped with rugby. And then I switched into rugby for 3 years, and that was awesome.
We should do like a tournament.
Yeah.
Basketball, like
Who wants to go up against?
One v
Oh,
one.
I'd get down
lost
to that.
1v1. Yo, that's right.
I lost
Yeah.
all of my athletic skills.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I
You
mean,
got me
it's
for
fine.
one
It's okay.
play and
It's
we're good.
okay.
I could play rugby. Like I feel like I could pick that up and go with it
The
right
rugby.
now.
Rugby's like crazy. Like when I was in France, it was like,
Did you play?
absolutely.
I was
Well,
like, damn,
watch.
girl.
No. I know.
No?
I just watched like the kids play and they were like just destroying each other. I was like,
Yeah.
that's fun. Okay.
I made it 3 years without
With the short
an injury
shorts.
until my last game. We were playing for the state, like final, right?
Yeah.
Like so, it was a tournament for the best in the state, and like I don't know what if it was like some miscommunication on the field, but these kids are hopped up on testosterone and shit. And this one guy, I just remember him. He was like, "You." I was like, "Me? What the hell did I do?" And I like an
What the
idiot,
fuck, bro?
like an idiot, started taunting him and shit. And like, so if I got tackled, he'd try to like take cheap shots at me on the ground and stuff. But he never got a good hit on me, so I just laugh and like roll it off. And then I was on the sideline.
I've had that.
I was just
Yeah.
on the sideline, and I just like I wasn't unconscious, but like it's like my vision faded in from black, and like I was already standing, and I just remember I was cussing a lot.
Yeah.
because I wasn't in my proper mental state.
So you
I
didn't get
think-
knocked out, but you were out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't
And
remember.
I was dazed.
Yeah, I had that too.
And I definitely was like, I remember
know
cussing
about
too
this.
much because like my dad was there and my coach was there, and I don't really cuss a whole lot, but I was like, I try to keep it mature around like my parents.
Well, as you see the videos where people are coming out of anesthesia,
they're saying
they say
anything.
things that they would never
They
say.
say
Yeah.
some crazy stuff.
I always hope I'm gonna have one of those experiences whenever I got put under for anything. I never do.
Yeah,
Really?
when you were
I
last
had my colonoscopy
I feel like
Yeah.
where they put me under, and I've heard of stories being like people being completely out of it,
Yeah.
like hitting on the doctor and saying things.
Yeah.
So even before, because he was driving me to and from the operation procedure, and I was like, I'm sorry if I say anything. I'm not going to be in my right mind. I don't know what I'm
she
going to
was
say.
like,
and I was
document it
paranoid.
if you want, if it's funny. And I was like,
And
Get some
literally,
views
like,
in.
I think the only thing that happened was like I asked you twice if everything went well.
yeah. Immediately upon waking up, she's like, sweetness. Because she was shivering. Because like when you're coming off anesthesia, like whether you are like actually cold or not, your body will shiver just because of your reaction to having it in your system, and then now having not in your system. So she was shivering and stuff. I had the nurse grab another blanket, and so I was just kind of like rubbing her arm and trying to help making sure she was like warm. And she woke up, sweetness. And then she like immediately goes to business where she's like, "Did they go okay? Did they find anything?" Like, I'm like, "Nope, everything went." Like I gave her all like the download from the doctor, and then she was like, "Oh, okay, good." Did they find anything? And I just instantly, without it skipping a beat, looped the conversation, and so I just gave it again.
Yeah.
And then the third time, like at the end, by the time we reached the end of that, it looped right back in, and I was like, "This is adorable," but there was nothing.
nothing.
And kind of scary.
And kind of scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Also,
mean, because
like,
your
then
short-term
you're like,
memory's gone,
You're
right?
like, you already asked me this, and I was like, no, I didn't. This is the first time
And I was like,
I did ask you this.
Yeah.
Because by the third
Start to
time, I was like,
remember.
Yeah,
I was like
yeah.
trying to tell you how you were repeating yourself because I wanted you to know that, but then you'd forget that too. And so I was like, so I'd wait until
It's
you're
okay.
like
I just wish I would have that like crazy story.
Have you seen the
like
super
Barbara after
After dentist,
anesthesia
yeah.
or whatever? Yeah.
After getting
that kid that
camera
David
poked over.
after the dentist kid is probably like 15 now.
Could be a dentist.
How old was he in the video?
5 or 6,
Yeah.
maybe 7.
Yeah, because it's definitely been at least
Yeah.
10 years.
It's been about 10
It
years.
was his
yeah.
front. He had a missing front tooth, right? So
Something. They
probably
never
around
explain it.
I
7.
love the part where he goes,
And then he's trying to touch his mouth.
Yeah.
Don't touch it.
Don't stop touching it.
Yeah.
And then his dad was like, he was pretty upfront about it. Like they made merch for it. They did a lot of branding stuff for it as well. And he was like, look, he goes, this is never going to happen to us again. He goes, I got an obligation here. I'm going to pay for my kid's college.
Yeah.
This is, from this.
Yeah.
Because you're like, you're exploiting your kid and all that. It's like,
do it while you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the money.
I'm doing all this stuff for him.
I'm sure that
That'll
kid
help.
will be very thankful when
Oh,
he
yeah.
has a college tuition.
Yeah, he comes out with no
David.
college debt. Damn.
See how David after the dentist today.
Yeah.
Okay,
Today.
What's he doing?
2019.
But like,
He's Dr. Gregory Johnson from your Houston chiropractor.
yeah, he's ring dinging.
My personal favorite kid from the YouTube days was the blood.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Baby sugar.
I don't remember which of us started quoting that randomly,
Oh my
but like we have just started randomly quoting that
Yeah.
around the house. We'll just be like,
No funny.
Oh,
No funny.
Oh my God.
cutest kid
that's
for sure.
such
That
a
and bit my finger,
throwback.
obviously.
Yeah.
Charlie bit my finger.
Charlie.
Well, there's another kid in the like that blood genre with like pronouncing things. It's the kid who goes snack.
Yes!
Yes.
Yes! Like what the
do you
parents are
want?
like, what did you want to get? Like filming the whole time. What did and she's just like, snack! I'm like, snack! And like it's just like over and over. But before we continue real
January 30th, 2009. Happy 10th anniversary to David after the dentist just happened.
Dang.
Damn.
2009,
Oh
January
my
30th.
God. Wow, exactly.
Just
10,
passed.
yeah.
That video is only 1 minute and 50 seconds long.
Wow.
It feels like.
So he was 7
How
years
many
old
mid rolls
then.
does it have?
He's 17 years old now.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
David
Good guess.
DeVore Jr.
So I nailed it. 7.
You did.
Yeah, well, you gave me the guy. What I was gonna say is it's very freaky. Like, yeah, losing not like your memory being so chemical like that, where you can substance or in the head and you can like black things out. But it was weird because I came to cussing about the kid, cussing about the cheap shot. Because what happened was I was making a break down the sideline because I think it was outside center at the time. Which, if you don't know rugby, there's 2 centers and then there's a wing, and I was the outside center. I had looped my wing, running down the sideline, and somebody tackled me. And so many people don't know how to tackle, so like in rugby, you just end up
God, they just
with a
like
ruck.
roll themselves.
And so you,
yeah.
and so you end up, somebody's like hugging you, keeping you up. This guy comes blasting through as I'm up and nails me in the head, and that's.
How are you supposed to tackle, like with your shoulder?
Yeah, put him right there and hit him in the waist.
Yep.
American football gets a lot of grief because they wear pads.
Yeah.
But it allows you to hit so much harder. Yeah, rugby, one of the limiting factors is nobody has pads.
Exactly.
So whatever you do to somebody else, you're doing to yourself too.
Yeah.
You know?
So you'll actually have some kind of.
You'll get the pain.
You won't.
You
Yeah.
won't
You
launch
won't
head
hurt.
first like that.
You can't
like
spike.
That's why I think
cannonball.
it's crazy. Like in football, when they have all these paddings, they think they're invincible. They're just going in.
Yep.
It's
armor.
like,
That's why there's so many brain injuries.
And I'm just like, your brain just chill out.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're hitting
Chill
something
out.
soft or designed for your head. Your brain's still stopping suddenly.
Jolts, yeah.
You know.
Did you ever play touch football?
Touch football?
Well, you did flag football.
I did flag football.
I did when I played football. It was touch football because it was a girls' league, and I can't tell you how many times my tit was grabbed.
I was about to say, long story short, her coach is in jail now.
Because it's just like you're running after someone, and it's a lot more complicated when it's touch because like you have to be really fast to get around people because it's just like someone could just reach out and brush you and that you're out.
That's why you play flag.
And so a lot of people, as you're running and trying to spin, would just like grab at you, and it,
Seems like you two would be good at competitive tag. Have you ever seen that?
I've seen those
tag
tournaments.
leagues.
So they're just like,
It almost looks like a parkour.
It's like
course.
parkour,
And they just
basically.
like railings or
Yeah.
jungle gym, and they just like zip. You got to fit through tiny spaces, basically.
Yeah.
like I knock myself out.
Yeah, I would absolutely knock myself out.
Miss a jump and.
Yeah, I guess too.
You're it.
It would be fun though, like especially if you were playing people that weren't like parkour masters doing like flips and stuff. But it'd be fun if like we had people that were of the same like tier of athleticism, just flipping around like monkey bars and various tiers of things.
Someone's gonna get hurt.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Let me test your Roosterteeth knowledge.
Go ahead.
Who at Roosterteeth comes from a background? There's no professional parkourers, there's
I
stuntmen.
know this one.
Who is the top of the line parkourer at Roosterteeth?
Can I answer?
I have an idea.
If you guys want.
Sure.
Oh, do you know the actual?
I know the
answer?
answer.
Barb actually knows.
I would say Joel Heyman
You're incorrect.
because, and I will explain only because
Why?
because he
Let me
has
explain.
this hidden history of BMX. Like,
yeah.
I remember him a long time ago
Yeah,
talking
I saw
about
those videos.
He posted, I don't know. I had it in the office, but he posted a video a long time ago of him. It's like an old VHS tape, but it's on YouTube of him doing like BMX tricks and stuff,
my
and he was
God.
fucking awesome at it. And he made it look so seamless. But like
I had
you
no
there's
idea.
a couple of frames in there where you could, like that's definitely Joel. But
Two-time Michael Jones coming in. Hey, congrats, man.
Congratulations.
I did a lot of work.
Give you my seat.
No, please.
How you holding up? You
Good. I'm just getting.
you tired of anything? He'll know the answer too.
Okay.
So the answer to the
We're
question:
getting drunk.
the best parkourer in the history of Roosterteeth is Mr. Kerry Shawcross.
really,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Does he have like
Yeah, he used to be
videos?
professional. I think he did it like professionally.
It was like I don't know if there are professional parkourers.
I'm sure people with sponsors on them.
He used to be professional. I was just amateur.
Dude, when he came to work for us, like I haven't seen his legs in a long time, but his legs, like his quads were like shelves.
trunks.
It was incredible.
No.
Yeah.
Testament of Roosterteeth. When he came to work.
yeah. Now, it's all gone.
And 6 volumes of a very successful anime franchise later, not so much. So
Now Ruby does the parkouring.
that's exactly
show.
right.
Oh yeah.
He learned a lot
That's where I was
There
like,
you go.
those days.
how's
He does all the
Luna?
motion capture.
Good.
Baby,
Good.
You guys back home yet?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you wanna
Baby juice.
Do you wanna share
that peach moonshine.
your fact that you messaged me
What's that?
when we were talking about the gold card?
Oh yeah. Well, you saw the McDonald's gold card.
Yeah.
Got posted somewhere as an article about
Yeah,
it.
I saw that.
it
Thought
on
about you
Reddit.
too.
So I pinged Mike. First thing, obviously, see what we can do about getting these
Chef
gold
Mike.
cards. Chef Mike, obviously.
What is a McDonald's gold card?
I'll give him his proper title. And I don't know how one gets
It's
it.
free.
Just free McDonald's.
It's
You
free McDonald's
go
for
to
a
McDonald's
year.
free for life.
In an area. In a specific
In an
This
area.
one was 1 year.
This is 1
This
year.
was the limited gold card.
Bill Gates has one.
Bill Gates?
He does. Yeah.
Who else?
Wow.
Somebody else has one? Probably Bill Clinton. They definitely sent him one. But then there was some guy who he got famous because he was halfway through a Big Mac, saw something in the parking lot that didn't sit right with him. I just read the summary of the story. Went out, left his Big Mac, half-eaten Big Mac on the table, and stopped 3 women from being kidnapped. And so McDonald's gave him free food for life.
Holy
Yeah.
And like part of the whole story
Deserved.
was guy leaves Big Mac. and goes,
100% deserved.
yeah.
Totally.
That is awesome.
More so than Bill Gates. What the fuck that guy did?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, why did he get one? Like,
shit like that's fucking crazy.
Superhero.
he's okay. Like, he
To
can
rip
get
yourself from a Big
McDonald's.
Mac.
Yeah, you know.
I'd be eating it like
Like mid-bite.
I should do something.
You can
Wish
think of
it's very important.
Come back and finish.
I mean, I'll get in there after a couple more fries.
He's like, hey, listen, I can holster it. And then I'm in.
Thank you, Michael.
This is a baby shot.
A
Squeeze it right
baby
in.
shot.
Baby Jigger.
Oh, if
Oh, you know, also, you walk up with a Big Mac and there's a kidnapper and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Do a tray.
One eye, distract you
Has
for a moment.
y'all's table always been?
Thank you, brother.
Yeah,
It's less sticky.
It's the acrylic.
epoxy.
The epoxy.
Oh, okay. I thought there was something spilt on
They're-
it.
No.
It's like it's
Their
sticky
tables
everywhere.
it has issues in general. It's got a long history of issues.
Right.
It
I
looks
love
nice.
this though. This is so
does.
cool.
Yeah. Marcus did a fantastic job, and
He did a good job. He fucked it up on episode like 15.
With the
Left it
branding.
for 2 years. He's a busy guy.
It's all
He's a
part of the
busy guy.
process,
That
man.
thing's a
Griffin
big-
did the
guy.
subtractive adding,
Yeah.
and then Marcus did the additive editing. Additive
What is it?
Oh, the-
It's like a peach moonshine.
oh, it's so good.
Okay.
It's so good.
All right.
Congratulations.
Baby shots. All right.
Oh, we do that.
Oh, that's good.
It's so good.
That is good.
It's
Where'd that
so
come
good.
from?
Fan said that, right?
Nick. Well,
They're all
yeah.
poisoned. I'm not poisoned.
no, Nick's good. He's clear. He's the only one.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
He didn't kill us first, so now it's just kind of like
It's just
he's already got the
lying
clearance. So
When I went to my aunt's house, my dad's sister, my dad's passed away, but she's like, I shouldn't say, she doesn't like talk about her age, but I was at her place, and this table reminds me of it so much. She had, I think I talked to you about it, Trevor. She has uranium glassware. I'm like 90% sure she's got a set of radioactive.
That green,
Yeah.
like glowing glass.
It
yeah.
looks like this just sitting in the light with no light shining on it.
Wait a
I'll
minute.
show you a picture here.
It must be.
Oh, yeah.
It must be minimally radioactive, right? Because otherwise, I mean, that's a trend. I feel like that started before people knew what that does to your body very well, right? But like, it's not like dangerous to have that amount of glass in your house, is it?
I don't think so. She's fine. She's lived a very long life, so she's
Yeah,
doing
but
well.
there's like
not that long.
there's some
Yeah.
people that
Yeah.
chain
Yeah,
smoke
yeah.
their whole life and end up fine, and then people that don't smoke and
Exactly.
get lung cancer. You know, so like she could
Like
be
if I
an
sit in that room for
anomaly.
5 minutes, am I toast? You
might
know?
toast.
You might be.
Who knows?
The thing about it though is that so I went around her house and was looking for other stuff because she has a lot of stuff from going back decades, and it reminded me of a guy that I'm sure you know about. It's the Boy Scout who set up a nuclear reactor in his backyard to get the atomic badge for the Boy Scouts, and he went all out on it and literally built an atomic reactor in his shed.
Holy shit.
Okay, so that's what's the minimum requirements for an atomic
I don't know. I
badge?
guess they do a book report on
Why
the
is there an
atomic
atomic
bomb.
badge? Period.
Yeah, I mean, we shouldn't be aspiring kids to like make bombs and nothing.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Did he he made a productive nuclear?
Yes,
like,
EPA came
reactor
in,
the back?
shut it down. The area is still quarantined. You can't go there.
Interesting.
Yeah, and he did it
old
by.
is
Did he draw power for his house for free?
The
Just
picture
like,
of the
what's
kid
going
too.
on?
He's got sores all over his face
I
because he was
imagine.
exposed to so much radiation.
Yeah, and a badge.
And a badge. But he went through and stripped. There's some level of radium or something, or some isotope that's in smoke detectors. So he
Yeah.
would go and buy smoke detectors.
I'm not making this up. I think it's It's like Americium or Americ.
Oh,
Americium?
America.
Yeah, something like that.
Americano. Yeah.
Well,
No,
it's
no,
something
it's,
like
it's
that.
the American element, right?
Yeah,
It's named
yeah.
after it's the
It's the
Ameri-
one
I think
we
it's
found.
America. Yeah.
We did it, guys.
It's that part of the periodic table that nobody knows about. It's that bottom
The
two
bottom
rows.
rectangle all the way to the right.
Yeah. Everybody kind of knows the first three rows. After that,
We're
it's just-
bottom shelf elements, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just
it's all the shit. Some of those elements that are on the periodic table, some of them only exist for fractions of a 2nd. Like they can make them, they have enough protons in one place to make a new element, and then that's it. You know? Which is crazy to think that everything that's made that we see is basically just the number of protons. That's the only thing that determines whether
Yeah.
something's an element of this kind or of this kind. So it's like, why don't we just keep adding protons and just
Yeah.
constantly make new elements? Maybe we'll find
I think
something
you
like-
can. It's just their
Well, I
level of
can't.
stability.
I don't have that badge.
Yeah.
Well, once you get that
we
badge,
need
well,
that
badge
badge.
will
What is that?
Ameri-
Iron Man 2.
Maris.
Yeah.
You made a new
Made
one?
the new element.
There you go.
Is the chat got it in the?
Science-
Science,
afford
you
those
crazy.
protons.
I don't know. I think it was somebody.
Someone
Somebody
said
said
something?
like the proper spelling in the chat.
It's
but
like
we missed it, but-
Americium or
Americum.
America. Wow.
There you go.
But you can look up a YouTube video after you watch this podcast. You can look up a YouTube
Don't
video
do it now.
where the guy goes through the whole process and talks about it. But one of the things that he got after he moved on from collecting the smoke detectors was he would get old alarm clocks with glow-in-the-dark hands. And that was all, I believe, radium paint. And even, it's a really sad story of the ladies who would paint those clock hands. They would lick the thing, and they almost all of them died of cancer. Yeah, the ladies who worked in those factories, because they just didn't fucking know.
Well, things that glow in the dark are minimally radioactive.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. Wow.
And he just goes and scrapes it off those little hands, and then like distills that, and then he gets.
I used to eat those glow sticks as a kid. I'm just kidding.
I would have been like,
You sold it.
And then we tried the lights, I glow in the dark.
Oh boy.
Here's the video where the kid microwaves his glow stick.
Yeah, we were watching that.
It's like his mom or something.
Dad.
What the fuck are you doing?
No, he doesn't cuss. He comes out and he goes, I don't remember the kid's name. He's like, Jonathan.
I want to say it's Mark.
All over your awesome new shirt. Dang it. Oh, and he's like looking over his glasses as he's trying to, hold on, I'm trying to.
Kid scream.
I can't figure out what to do with your eyes. And he's like reading all the warnings on the label, like, I can't figure this out. I'm like, just flush his eyes out.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, you don't got time.
Let it soak in
do
while I
something.
read.
Yeah, do something.
But it was like the most,
my God.
like there's no cussing, no real anger. It's like the most wholesome way to be angry with your
Yeah.
child. All over your awesome
He
new
was
shirt.
disappointed with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disappointed.
Well, we were talking about that because we have a bunch of glow sticks for Hunter,
Oh.
or at least Gavin does, and we were talking about trying to bust him open and like whatever. I think I had a.
You bust him open and just fling him around. He puts the glow on everything.
It does.
And
I had a high school party where we did that to each other.
Yep.
Right in the eye.
you gotta watch out for your eyes. But
Yeah, it
flush it.
doesn't stain or anything. It just makes you like whatever it hits glow.
That being
And
said,
I'm sure I'll get
the
cancer.
glow
all
sticks
those little
we've used don't
spots.
stain. If you stain shit at home doing this, then it's not our fault. Sorry.
You really like
on us.
disclaimers. On,
Yeah, he's
Listen.
being careful. He's being
Listen.
careful.
Also, don't build an atomic reactor in
Yeah,
your
please,
backyard.
like-
We should just
do that.
boilerplate our podcast with disclaimers of like,
Yeah,
just don't.
absolutely.
All right,
Don't.
just don't.
Just
The
don't.
ring dinger thing though is serious. If like that's something I've seen, like you always see those videos of kids doing that thing where they bend over and then they stand up and they push on their chest to make them pass out.
Yeah, don't
Oh.
do that.
Don't do that.
I
shit.
remember that.
Die.
I don't know about the
What is
pushing.
this? I don't know this.
My friends used to do that when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Before the internet, we were super fucking bored as kids, so we would do shit like
It's this
knock
thing,
each
like,
other out.
You basically like lean
Seriously,
over,
it's funny.
breathe, and then have people come and essentially choke
Yeah.
you until you pass out.
You do the sleeper hold on them and they'll pass out. Or
But don't.
See how they all know what they're
Don't
talking
do it.
about?
Don't
Don't.
We have no
do it.
fucking clue what the hell's going
there's
on.
an easy way to do
Some
it.
crazy
all
fucking
by
shit.
yourself. And I
talking about
really
that
don't want to say it
Don't
because
say it.
because people will do it. But like yeah, there's nothing good about passing out. And
Absolutely
coming to.
not. That's crazy. I would never in
You're
my
making
life.
yourself
You're making yourself look like mysterious.
No,
yeah,
like I'm
like
serious.
sketchy.
She's like, I would
You're like-
never,
you're like-
ever.
Look at Fiona.
I
She's
was-
like she's doing this thing where she's like, no,
I would never
don't,
choke him out.
don't do it. She's like, don't
I would
knock
never.
yourself out.
Don't do that.
do it.
Don't
I'm not
do it.
into it.
I gave the kid a
Don't.
Heimlich once and he vomited everywhere.
But why would you do that? Why? What was the
Like
point?
the no internet thing. It was
We were
funny.
bored.
It was summer.
Was he choking?
No, not at all.
You just gave him the Heimlich for the fuck of it?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is what I don't understand. Like I don't
You gotta
understand.
fist and cup it and in and
it's
up.
like a scoop.
Yeah, it's scoop
Yeah.
like an ice cream.
He scooped his
I was
stomach
like,
out.
I was like, hang on, and then he was like,
Oh,
Ah, God,
and
really?
he was like out of it.
I
Why
did
did you
something-
do that? I'm
At least
like,
now you know how.
I was like, wow, I already knew how. That's why I wanted to try it out though. And I was just like, wow, it worked. And he was like, I gotta go home.
I gotta go. I gotta go now.
I gotta go home.
One of my favorite moments in the history of Roosterteeth was during one of the extra life streams. And I forget what we were even doing out there, but something happened and we were celebrating. And so everybody chugged a beer. And we all chugged a beer. And then the camera just went up towards Blaine. And he goes, brrr.
Oh, God.
And then this plume of vomit just came spewing out. It's probably one of my favorite moments. Oh, no.
That was awesome.
For real? Who is it for?
5 seconds of breaking it. You have
Thanks
5 seconds
everybody.
of breaking it.
Bernie, you have won off topic, and I would just like to have a speech.
I need the speaker, okay?
All right, well,
Michael's off to break the actual speaker.
this is totally unexpected. I
You
don't know what to
absolutely
say.
blasted the audio.
Just super happy.
The
to be
audience is
part of the
deaf
Did
now.
I
podcast.
smash it?
So many
John.
people work so hard to make this happen. The broadcast department, Trevor Michael.
No warning.
Sorry, thank you.
No warning.
Sorry.
about to fucking kill him. About
Rest
to
in
kill a
peace,
person.
audience.
John just
Listen, the dude who did Labs Action News cannot ever complain about someone else interrupting their workday.
Listen to the sound of it.
sound was
Bernie,
loud. That shit counted
this is a formal
terrified.
complaint right
If you're
here.
at the Oscars, that's how loud
Also,
it is.
smashing it would only make
Recreating
more
it.
content.
That is true.
John
That is
just
true.
lost the last 3 of his fans. He just blew their ears
I
out.
can't believe they did that here. So
He was just holding the speaker. Everyone's gonna
That
blame
was
him.
loud.
So we have this.
Whose
We have
water
this
is
thing
this?
that we do
Can I get in there?
in the Roosterteeth content office,
Yeah.
where we work on the Roosterteeth YouTube channel. Is there's a thing where it's like if you're in a crowd of people, if you're in a bar, if you're at the grocery store or whatever, and they walk up to you and they say speech, 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 you have to immediately give a speech.
Really?
They might hand you a loaf of bread or something like that. So
What was the takeaway from your speech? What was your lesson learned?
Yeah.
Or
just
what
I'm
was
just
my
super
lesson
happy to be
learned?
here. You know,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
I know that I'm up here accepting the award, but really it's a team effort to be on the
Everyone
Off
really
Topic podcast.
contributed
It is.
today.
Yeah.
Thanks to Michael for including me. Barbara's first appearance. on the Off
It is
Topic.
my first appearance, and I was talking about this before of just like how funny it is to me that for me to be on this podcast, Michael and Lindsay have to have a baby, and the entirety of Achievement Hunter minus a few people need to be gone for a shoot. Gus needs to be asked, Chad needs to be asked, Bernie needs to be asked, and then I'm
I did.
scrape it.
I didn't have to tell you. I was like, she knows.
So Michael wrote me and he said, "Do you want to be on Off Topic tomorrow?" And I said, "Ooh, yeah, I got to move a thing, but I'd be happy to do it." And he goes, "Yeah, a lot of people are out for Haunter, so I'm really desperate." And I was like, "Oh, okay, great."
Thanks.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it.
Yeah, keep it real with you.
You got a whole month, Bernie. You got a whole Bernie month.
That is true.
Okay, November.
I think it was successful.
It was good. People liked it.
I think
it was.
tell me
People
it's
liked it.
successful.
I really wanted
Tell
to
me
play.
it did well.
I really wanted to play when Jeff kicked me out of that video.
Yeah.
I'm super glad that chicken horse game we played, which I don't know if you guys aired that one that we did.
No, I didn't come out.
I was there for
Oh,
that.
no?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, no,
Fucking
that's recent.
worst game to put me in because it's all platforming.
awesome.
Dude, you're telling me.
Oh.
I get worse at that game every time you play it.
It was me, Gavin,
I'm
Bernie,
the
and Chad.
worst
Did
platformer
You,
ever.
me, Jeff, and whoever else
But I think I
need
take
to jump in
Chad.
that. And Chad?
Chad.
Okay,
Not
or
good.
Bernie or whoever. We need to jump in as like the bottom tier. You know what I mean?
If
Like
you-
there's esports, let's do
Yeah.
F sports.
If you take me, if you take me out of anything that doesn't have guns, I'm the absolute worst.
Oh man, we were playing
Yeah.
Tetris. We had a Tetris stream.
Yeah?
Oh, that shit was so
I could.
funny.
My goal was to
Yo,
get
for,
into the 80s.
for, no,
I had a
no,
90,
your goal was to get out of
90.
like get
I
to
had a streak
90.
was like 90, 94, 93,
That-
92,
it
and
was
I
pretty
could
funny.
not, for the love of
But the
God.
funniest part was Matt trying to explain to him how to play. He doesn't even go like into how to put the blocks, how to rotate it. He's like,
Yeah.
nah, you got to throw your trash to this person and that person. You got to do this, and it's like Matt.
Yeah, he's like, this is how you
Teach
rotate
him
the
how to
blocks.
drop
No, this is
the
how you attack
blocks.
others.
Like, I was
what?
Matt,
Baby
please.
step me into your world of
please.
Tetris.
Like he
'Cause
didn't
you
know how
going
to
over the
rotate
top
the
right
blocks.
now.
He was
I
just
didn't
putting
know.
it down.
I didn't know.
Oh, this poor man.
Trevor, I'll tell you.
What happens when you play
I was-
one genre for all of your life?
I was about to ask Sarah to be on the podcast.
She's got bangs
I would
now.
have walked off.
Talking point.
Talking point.
He's like,
You get 20 minutes out of bangs, man.
I was this close.
Did
It's like, it'd be funny, I guess. Weems was on it.
Weems?
Roast her.
Weems cast? Dude, we'll just do an off-topic podcast that's
should.
just the roast of Sarah Weems.
We should. I mean, that's usually
She
off
gets
topic.
so much
anyway.
shit,
That's
but
off
Sarah-
topic
It's
anyway.
every
She's
week,
just not on it.
Yeah, here's what you're right. That would be great.
Yeah.
Thanks. Everyone is out for Haunter, so I'm kind of desperate. I asked Gus, so even let me know that Gus said no.
Yeah.
And he had to. He had to leave early
It's his birthday.
for his birthday.
Gus said he'd do it. He's like,
Happy
sorry.
birthday.
He's like, sorry, man, I would, but tomorrow's my birthday.
It's a good
I
excuse.
would, but
Gus
he's like, I
I don't
celebrate
do
privately.
shit.
he looks for any excuse he can take to get out of the
He's
office.
Gus, though. What am I going
Like,
to say?
I was gonna take him to lunch today. Me and Matt. We are gonna take him
Oh,
to lunch.
you
Sorry.
even
Oh.
said that to me. You replied. You're like, hey, just so you know, tomorrow's Gus's birthday.
He's gonna want it. We're gonna take him to lunch. It's a big thing. It's an important day. And Gus is like, I'm not going to lunch with you. I'm going to lunch with my wife. And I was like, okay.
All right, I guess.
Don't you see her every night?
Doesn't she get dinner? God damn it. So
That's so funny. Oh my.
that's just Gus. That's what it's like to know Gus. I've known him for 21 years, according to his accounting.
Yeah.
So
Does Gus have a themed Achievement Hunter month? Because you got Novembers.
We were going to do
Yeah.
one, and
It was
there's a dispute of why it didn't happen.
Okay.
If I recall correctly, it was just a tight turnaround on scheduling.
time.
It was like the week
The
to
schedule
kick
was
off the
tight.
month was sparse on our end and busy on his end, and so we didn't end up
What
doing
month was it going to be?
August.
Was it August?
August.
I think you're right.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's.
I think I remember telling him Sarah said he couldn't do it, and then he was like, bullshit, that's a lie.
Oh.
Gotcha.
That
Did
was it.
did
Sarah.
Gavin
also
tell
doesn't
you-
sugarcoat things. Gus. Yeah. You won't get the nice version of it. Bullshit. Who is that? Fire her. That's what probably what he said.
Who is that? Enter.
Did Gavin tell you my idea if you guys ever did the one with me? Because my name doesn't go into any month, so it'd just be July.
That's good. He probably said that before you did.
Julie.
It comes up a lot.
Well, Gus started kind of the I think so.
Oh,
the first thing you guys did with him
middle name
was
Last of Gus.
Last of Gus, when you guys did the Last of Us series with him.
Just because he played it, like we were all playing it a bunch.
They won't get
that was Alfredo was such a low point for me personally because we were all playing Last of Us multiplayer and nobody was fucking playing Last of Us multiplayer.
It's a hardcore PlayStation. Maybe kind of funny it was.
It was like it's one of those games you don't even realize has multiplayer.
I didn't know.
It was
like
awesome.
This is news to me.
It was awesome.
What's their Lara Croft game? Can't even think of it.
Uncharted. Tomb Raider.
Uncharted.
Oh yeah.
I mean for PlayStation. Yeah. The Uncharted. There's multiplayer in that. It's like who the fuck plays that? You know, it's like you played for the campaign.
Yeah.
So
we were being kind of good.
We were playing after hours. We're playing Last of Us multiplayer. Then they like get all excited to do a let's play. They invite Gus and don't invite me. And I was just like,
I didn't do that to the man.
Look at
We did really well. It's arguably one of the only times in Achievement Hunter history where we just kicked the shit out of the other team. And like, dude, Gus particularly, we were just like the biggest douchebags ever. The other team couldn't hear us, but in the video, we're just like, I was like, because in Last of Us, you can down people and then do like an execution or whatever, and I'd be doing it, and Gus is like, I'm gonna stand there and watch. Oh, I'm jerking off. Oh, I'm so hard watching this. And I'm like, oh, you fucking like that? You like that? And I prefaced him like, listen, we're never good at anything, okay? We're actually pretty okay at this game. And we were just like the biggest assholes ever. It was a lot of fun. That's also where the infamous Hyman Buster comes from. Like right at the beginning of the game, we didn't even play the game with him.
Let the man talk.
There was a guy on the other team called Hyman Buster, and then he dropped out, and then he entered the Achievement Hunter mythos, though.
Him and PlayStation name.
Him and
Hyman Buster. Good for him.
Him and Kerbal Gunners.
Kerbal Gunners. There's a couple of them. Shadow Lulls.
Shadles. That's right.
There's a couple of them in there. Hyman Buster was a good one.
Still to this day, my favorite gamer tag I've ever seen is somebody that I've matched with in Halo 2. And their name was Grenade Zellweger. And I just
I thought you were going to say what Gavin named himself in our Agar.io Let's Play.
Yeah. No, he didn't name himself that. He named my character
your
that.
character
and then I won, so we had to include it. He named my little spot. He named it Child Fucker. And then it just kept getting bigger and bigger on the map.
And it won the match. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's like Child Fucker wins.
It was one of those magical Let's Plays where everything's going wrong. Everything's going wrong. It builds to this, like, ended perfectly.
Come back to it later.
Perfectly. Yeah.
Go back to
We'll find a segue later on in the show.
Maybe now's not the best time. Maybe now's
So wait, I
not
see
the
a couple
best time.
This guy knows. He's like Hyman Buster 1 for clarification.
Well, yeah. I got it down
Was
to a T.
Hyman Buster without the number taken?
Sure.
Probably.
That's kind of a fact.
No, he liked the number.
He was like, I'm number 1.
He counted the Hymens.
Number 1.
I busted one so
What?
far.
No, I'm okay.
You sure?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm going to get a drink real quick. I'll be right back.
You can get a drink real quick.
Can I?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, actually,
you may.
Damn it, Brandon, I asked you about Apex. Do you like it or not?
Oh, did you ask me about Apex? Okay, well, first of all,
because I saw the Roosterteeth podcast headline. One was like, it's overrated. The other one's like, we love it.
Already.
And I was like, do they love it or not?
yeah, we were just doing that to be funny. There's still people to this day that we don't review video games.
Yeah.
And so if we ever say anything about a video game, it's like they show up thinking like we're gonna have some deep dive analysis.
No,
literally, the reason why I said Apex Legends is overrated. This is the day after it came out. I said or the weekend after it came out. I said it's overrated. And Gus goes, why is it overrated? Because you're bad at it? And I said, yes. And so it's making a joke.
Yeah.
I think a game is bad because I'm
We have
bad at it.
opinions on games, and some of us have stronger opinions than others, but we don't professionally or sit here and hold actual reviews to hold the game up to a certain light and say, you should believe this opinion. They're just opinions.
You won the Apex. Did you play it anymore?
So here's what I did. I did Gavin's suggestion. I just can't compete on the PC, which is what I was playing on. I just can't. So Gav's like, well, he's like, play it on the console, you'll do better. And I was like, I'm not playing on a fucking console battle royale because I played PUBG.
Yeah.
And I was actually decent at PUBG. Played on console, I love it so much more.
Great.
That's why we all love Blackout on Xbox. We're like, I can kill people. Like, not a lot of people, but we can. We can shoot them, and the bullets go kind of where I'm looking.
Well, Apex also shames you because it's at the start of the game. It's like, here's your team. This guy has 85 kills.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I love that.
It's always him.
Got 20
It's like, here are your champions. I literally, like, someone tweeted at me, they're like, I booted up Apex, jumped into a game, saw that you were a champion, knew that I was going to die, and then when you killed me, I jumped into your stream, quick enough to see you killing me on stream.
I mean, we were streaming Apex yesterday, and like it was just me with my little lifeline with 15 kills, like no other like anything, and then you got Alfredo with all his banners with like what 532 kills
in my garb,
with like 10k
you
damage.
Scroll to the next page to see them all.
I was just like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is just
There's no
funny.
achievements on PC, right? At all?
Unless it's like
Sometimes there is,
Steam.
or
I mean,
there is for Origin.
You play
There's like Origin achievements.
Because you can, it's like the Ubisoft one where you unlock shit in the UB club or whatever it is.
Some of that shit's actually super like it's like game stuff.
Yeah,
I do like when I'm starting
Assassin's Creed always has that.
Yeah, when you're starting a new game and you're like, I didn't even know I had these points, and
because they carry over.
Yeah, I'll buy a weapon that'll carry me through the first 4 hours of this thing. But I've moved over to Xbox, and I gotta say, while I've kind of fallen off with achievements or really caring about them, it is nice that I've been playing a lot of Apex Legends. It does give me something to do. Like you get achievement for Kill Leader, get a fully equipped weapon, and then you have to win with every single legend, you know.
Do you still find it fun to play?
And then there's even one to get 5,000 points with everyone.
Do you find it fun or even rewarding to play games that don't have any achievements whatsoever? So I feel like that's the reason why people play stuff now.
I used to not, but now I do.
Yeah.
I mean, now I don't care.
It depends for me, especially now that I have PC.
Yeah.
It depends on like performance and stuff like that. Like honestly, that's what I'm so happy about with Crackdown. Crackdown 3, I'm just like, hey, I can play it on PC, but I still get achievements.
Yeah.
Just play anywhere. So I've been
That's
playing
nice
that a
about
little
that
bit.
stuff.
I struggled with that decision when getting Metro Exodus just came out.
I saw you playing it.
And I was like, fuck, it's gonna run better on PC. But I perfected all the other Metro games on Xbox, so I'm like, I don't want to get it. Oh, it's not on PC? Oh, thank God. It's like it made the decision for me. I'm sure a lot of people got pissed off about that, but
really, Metros? That's weird.
No,
Metros
it wasn't.
It is, but it's not on Steam.
Oh, maybe.
I thought I got moved to like
that was
a different.
it wasn't on. I should say also because I'm spoiled now by Crackdown. I'm like not in the Microsoft store, so it's not playing.
No, I'm pretty sure it got moved to a different launcher, and people got really upset about
Dude, I hate all the launchers. I'll be honest. I hate it. I mean, because I'm just lazy. Just put it on Steam.
Yeah.
I just want
It is nice to have games in one spot, but it's just like streaming services. You will get more launchers over time as developers want to contain everything in their own grasp. It's also you're just like splitting revenue less ways.
Epic. It's
That's
an
true.
epic store.
But anyway, before we continue on with the conversation, I do want to say this episode of Off Topic is brought to you by 23andMe. Does alcohol turn your cheeks as pink as a glass of rosé? You may have alcohol flush reaction. Learn about the genetic factors that make it hard for some people to process alcohol. If you've always suspected that you feel more sleepy than others after missing out on a couple nights of sleep, you might not be imagining things. Your genes might be involved. 23andMe allows you to go beyond your ancestry and access more personalized insights about you based on your DNA. With more than 125 genetic reports, you can even gain insights about your health, traits, and more. And with the saturated fat and weight report, you can find out about how your genetics may impact your body's response to your diet. So learn if you're more likely to gain weight with a diet high in saturated fat, even if you consume the same number of calories. I learned about my heritage. My parents have both done this service, and then I did it, so I could kind of see how my genetic heritage weighed more towards my mom's or my dad's side. I always thought I was a little bit more English. Turns out I'm very Irish. Don't really know how that happened, but I am. Don't have the red hair, but I'm very Irish. And I also learned that I'm not lactose intolerant. Thank goodness, because I've been chugging milk like a fiend. But see what your genes say about your health, traits, and more. Buy your health and ancestry kit today at 23andme.com/offtopic. That's the number 23andme.com/offtopic. Again, that's 23andme.com/offtopic.
I gotta get that done. I'm like a ton of different ethnicities.
Oh yeah, I did mine.
All over the place.
What's your makeup?
Oh man, too much. So much. It's like half because my dad's from Italy.
Oh, cool.
So it's all just like Italian or like Portuguese or what, I don't know. Anyways, but then it was like Africa because my mom's half. It's just like literally 50%. Like,
so you're
Half-Africa. I'm Half-Africa. Yes.
It's good to have that. It's good to have that variety because any kind of like when I'm sure you went through this when you had 2 kids. I went through it when I had kids where they ask you about your lineage and if it's too close to the father's too close to the mother in terms of like we're all Irish. They're like, oh well, if you're both all Irish or French Canadian, you got to worry about this, you got to worry about that. Even like there's some they ask you, are you I forget what type of Jewish it is, but there's a very specific.
Ashkenazi.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
I am. My results came back. I'm 99.2% Ashkenazi Jew.
And if you're with somebody else who's an Ashkenazi Jew, then you've got a more likelihood for a certain set of genetic things. But if anyone, either one of you has different lineage somewhere else, it like reduces everything
I
dramatically.
think infertility is one of those things.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think Ashkenazi.
How's infertility an inherited trait?
I don't know.
Well, you're from Jersey, so.
Was it just 100% Jersey?
What are you?
I'm Polish, like Polish, Hungarian. I'm just Euro trash. So it was right on the money. It's like
Just a bunch of Europe.
yeah.
Are you done? Any more kids?
For now.
2 daughters, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna be in 10 years. You're gonna be in a house full of women. It's just gonna be you and 3 women.
That's I am now.
Yeah, I know, but it's like when they're teenagers, it's gonna be an entirely different scene in there, man.
I'll be out of there.
I'll be at the guest house.
Yeah, I'll have my own place.
There was a video I saw on Twitter yesterday of this gender reveal thing where
That's controversial.
yeah, where people had like a balloon and they popped it in the color of the like either pink or blue, pink for girl, blue for boy. And I guess they already had one kid. I don't know if it was a boy or girl, but then they popped this balloon and it was pink stuff. And the dad who popped it, he was just like, and he like walked away and like
Fucking
sat
hell.
on
What
the
a
couch.
dick.
He did this, yeah. So he's like,
Fucking hell.
comes
dude.
up. So here, here, stand up. You have the baby. You're all excited about what's happening. Like here's their other kid, whether it's a boy or a girl. We aren't aware. And he comes up and he's kind of smiling. He's reluctant.
And she's like holding the balloon.
He's like, okay, you can tell like he's like it's 50-50, right? He goes pop, pink glitter or like confetti, right? Comes all over the place, and he's just like.
And she's like, yay!
For like 30 solid seconds, he's just like.
Oh, what a dick!
Yeah, what an asshole.
And then he's just like,
He comes over,
Yikes.
sits on the couch, slouching. I already know what it is now, and like he's just on his phone.
Wow.
I'm like,
It's like
I was like, oh my god,
Dude.
yeah, that guy should
care
yeah.
or something.
Do you have any
That's
idea
like-
how old he was?
I don't know.
Probably
honestly.
I would say like early 30s.
Really?
What an asshole.
really?
Yeah, that's
that's
even
like-
more of an
that's-
asshole.
Yeah.
That's why like
Maybe
the other
like
thing
20s.
that like Lindsay and I laugh about with Iris and now especially with Luna when we're like, it's 2 girls. The number of people, it's like, gotta try again for a boy. It's like,
Oh no,
no,
we
really,
don't.
no,
We're good.
yeah.
Boy or
We're
girl is
good.
fine.
We're good.
yeah, I'm mad about it. I'm mad. Fuck yourself. It's like,
Well, now
fuck off.
As long as you
save so
realize, though,
much
you
money.
in particular,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
outnumbered. You
Absolutely,
don't need to have
yeah.
a son, but it's like they got you. Of course, then if you have a 3rd kid, then that's when you really get outnumbered. You got 2
Yeah.
parents and
Yeah.
3 kids. It's just like they got you at that point.
They got you.
You came from 3 kids, right?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had 2 brothers though.
Your poor parents.
I'll be honest. You're like, I felt outnumbered with 1. Okay, it's also the other thing of like, oh, you're outnumbered. There's more women than men. It's like they're against Lindsay too.
Was that?
Yeah.
That's an impression of me.
No,
It sounded exactly like you.
Pretty sure I'm your person who said that.
outnumbered. You're outnumbered, you dick. But it's just like, listen, the kids ain't teamed up with Lindsay. She's like, help me, God, please help me.
Yeah.
How
But-
has it been already? Like, because you guys have been home for a day
good.
or 2?
We got home on Wednesday.
Okay.
So
2 days.
it's good. It's just like one kid is, work, and then a second kid is 50 times more work. It's not like
I've heard
now
it's
there's
like 1
2
kid
of
is
them.
like
It's
having 1
Yeah.
kid and 2 kids is like having 4 kids.
It's like exponential. I
Yeah,
imagine.
it really is, and they're both pretty good too so far.
Your brain plays a trick on you, especially for those early days too, where your brain makes you forget how difficult it was, because if we didn't forget, our species would die. So it's like your brain says, "Oh, it wasn't that
I want
hard,"
this again.
and then when you get step back in, you're like, "What was he thinking? I remember this exactly." It's like,
I remember this.
Insane. What am I
it's like, I'm not
doing?
sleeping.
I remember Vietnam now. It was terrible.
I think that's also just like a safety measure for reality. Because if you're prone to forget the negatives, like, well, you don't want to slosh through life thinking about everything, how bad everything is. Like sometimes you just
Do you
got to
think-
focus on the positive.
Do you think there's an element of narcissism that helps our species procreate?
Absolutely, that's
Like
that's
people
the
just
drive.
wanting to have
Well, the kids
a little them.
don't
That's
have
me.
any people that don't have any kids say that people who have kids are narcissistic, but then people who do have kids say that the childless people are narcissistic because they're not sharing their life and it's making it all about themselves and everything. It's a weird thing we apply to like other people.
Yeah, other groups.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, everyone is narcissistic to some degree. Like, and
Yeah,
a lot of people
you
like
should love
to a
yourself.
flaw.
Yeah.
Love yourself.
All right, like
Yeah,
absolutely.
a little bit.
But like, What are you doing over there?
I don't even know what that
No, we're
was.
talking about loving ourselves.
Yeah, it's important.
Couples
it's
moment.
good for prostate.
Couples moment, yeah.
Got any tips for loving yourself there? I saw a little,
Yeah, you had two go in.
Just
two-handed that.
Keep it classy.
Keep it classy.
Lucky Jackie.
Lucky Jackie.
That being said, all of you should have kids. Kids are the best.
Have the best.
I have
It's
a
true.
bunch of
My
kids.
mom
More
my
kids.
mom and dad
Babies
have
are
both said to me like, "Are you gonna have kids?" And I was like, "I don't know." And they're like, "But think of how cute they would be." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, that's not a reason."
Just make sure they're done.
They would be cute.
yeah.
It completely changed my life.
I babysit a lot of kids. Like I love babies. Even like when I was talking to Lindsay wanted me to come over and like read French books to like Iris or like Luna and stuff. So I was like, I love that. I love taking
Jackie
care.
and I, we met Luna, and then Jackie had like Luna in her arms and everything like that. And I was like, Michael, you really got to stop.
Yeah, that's
okay,
the baby fever. Yeah, that's baby
It's like, you gotta stop. Fucking, I texted Jackie and Alfredo, like I sent him a picture after Luna was born, and you know how like, you know, you'll get like a preview message on your phone, will just be like the little bubble on your, you know, your home screen before you like open the text. And the first message I got from Jackie and Alfredo was like, "Oh my god," blah, 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 and it was just like a bunch of keys and numbers, whatever. And I'm like, "Fucking Jackie!" I look at it later, I'm like, "Wait, that was Alfredo."
I was excited as hell. I was like,
You're riling Jackie up. Me too.
I mean, you know, from a distance of the phone. And Jackie was there. She was like, "This is cute." We walked out. She was like, "How many?" And I was like, 2.
Yeah, no, I need more.
Me and Jackie are so opposite in that sense. Where like someone will be like, "You want to hold our baby?" And I'll be like, "Okay."
I'll throw it.
Yeah.
Wow, it's beautiful. Someone take it before I drop it.
I think, but to go back, like, it's narcissism is certainly like an element in the formula, right? But I think like what we do genetically, if you think about every trait that anything that exists has through evolution, like obviously the trait that says I don't want kids immediately weeds itself out because they don't have like early humans don't have kids.
Sure. So yeah.
And so like what ends up happening is everyone that wants to have kids, so it's like ingrained in your biology. It's just interesting to think about though, like sociologically wise, like we have totally different, like just in the last 200 years alone, dramatically different lives than we had like in primitive times when we built those biological like needs or necessities, right?
Yeah,
so like, so now we are completely self-aware of these like things, and we have this ability to be self-aware and like think about, well, yes, I have that drive in me, but then I also have so many external factors that make me go, I don't know, no, not really. That's not for me. Like I have so many other things going on in life that I kind of want to like look at that or travel over there or express this. You know, like it's really interesting how like we've changed.
I wish humans could have kids later in life, like just biologically.
Yeah, because
I feel like in my like when I'm like 45.
You can adopt.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
But just, I feel like that's the time in my life when I feel like I'd want a kid.
Yeah, like for us, we probably have to have a child before like, what, like 30,
Usually, like
38? Like
earlier the better.
Like earlier, yeah.
Well, humans can, women can't, which is
women. That's
like
that's
an 80-year-old dude like, this is my baby.
Human race.
I can't wait to see what they call it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, dude. That's why I was like, no. It's true. I mean, you know, I thought about that.
There was a picture of Michael Douglas with his baby that I guess he just had, and it's like, I think he's like 75.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was.
Oh man.
It's both like, and that was why, like, you know, I'm happy when Lindsay and I had kids. We got plenty of stuff done beforehand.
Yeah.
But also, I felt
You guys
like
are
we
able
were,
to balance pretty well too.
Right. We were young enough where it's like it goes both ways. Where like I want to do stuff with them, you know, like be able to. Like, you know, I'll be almost 50 when Iris graduates high school, and I'll be like 47,
Oh
48.
wow, really?
Which is like, you know, wow, I can't be that old, but like, you know, still like, you still do
That's
stuff.
still-
It's
you
not
can
that
still
old.
You know what I mean?
You can still do stuff. And, but at the same time, the kids too. It's like, I don't want to be like 75 when my kid's in high school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're like,
That's how my dad's
grandpa,
gonna be.
I mean, my dad.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That's how my dad's gonna be.
My dad was older.
Yeah,
Oh, he
Trevor's
was?
family is very interesting.
My dad had me when he was my age, but probably a year younger, 45.
Oh,
when
yeah.
My dad had me.
Really?
Yeah.
But your mom was younger.
Put in perspective, you know, I'm alive today. My dad was born in 1930, and his mom, my grandmother, was born in 1898.
Wow.
So it's just crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It makes you sound like somebody who should have been born in the 50s, you know?
Yeah.
But it's just like I was off generationally from everyone else in my family because I'd be late.
Yeah, my spread's pretty far. Like if I'm counting the difference from me to all my siblings selfishly, it's 3 years, 10 years, 18 years is the difference to me to all my
he's a
siblings.
10-year-old brother.
3 years, 10 years, 18. Really? Okay.
Yeah, and we were all planned except for my youngest brother. Like he just came when my parents were like, mom was in her lower 40s and dad was in his mid to upper 40s. Oh, wow. And so they just thought they were done, and then they weren't.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You should have named him.
So there's those concerns, right? That you're maybe too old to have like the kid, and like there's an increasing number of health concerns that happen when but like everything was totally fine. He's great. He's 10 years old now. But by the time he's done with college, dad's like in his 60s
if you think about
now.
it too,
You know,
like your parents are going to be taking care of someone very young for 30 plus years.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
What else you gonna do?
If you combine,
that's true.
Enjoy your
go on
retire
and travel.
Vacation.
That's why, like, I got him in. Like,
expensive.
I want him to take care of me.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
Like, I need someone to change my diapers.
Amen.
You know, I can change
the
them
channel.
now. It ain't no thing. You know,
Yeah.
at 31, I'd change a diaper all day. When I'm shitting my pants at 65, 70, maybe 50, we don't know.
Maybe 50.
We don't know. I mean,
The secret to that is you gotta hold that shit over him, like make him feel guilty.
Yeah. I had to remind him. Like,
I did this for you. You wanted that?
Well,
I got you that toy.
remember all that shit
Change
I
my
did for you?
diapers.
I hated it.
They start off, they don't know when it's their birthday and they have to get their diaper changed. And then as you get older, you start to forget your birthday and need your diaper changed.
Yeah.
So it's just
Your first birthday is a lot like your last birthday.
Yeah.
You're happy to be there, but there's a bunch of people and you didn't invite them.
Yeah, you don't know who half of them are.
Yeah.
Or all of them.
But I will say this about parenting stuff is parents will say stuff like the moment you see a kid, everything like changes, like you feel it. But that like you're saying, Trevor, that stuff is hardwired. It really does happen. It's impossible to explain though. But the one thing that I have noticed is parents say, like when you meet somebody else who has kids, one of the first questions they always ask is, how old are your kids? And it's like, oh, I got like a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old, or I got a 18-year-old and a 28-year-old. You say, like, I have a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old. And people always go, oh, that's a great age. And it doesn't matter, like, there's no age when they say, like, oh,
Awful age.
They're
Awful.
11? I'm so sorry.
Is it like 2
What
and
were you
3?
doing?
Pretty like the terrible twos.
Yeah, but even
kind
then,
of
though,
thing?
then it's like anytime
walking
anyone
in
ever
shit.
mentions it, they're doing all kinds of new cool shit.
See,
So it's like,
people don't
it's
say
like
that to me.
You take the best with the worst, you know? It's like, oh my god, you're doing this shit, that's amazing. Stop fucking doing that. And it just goes back and forth forever.
Yeah.
And
That's
I'm
what kind of there now with Iris.
people asking my parents, like, oh, how old are your kids? 29, 32, and 25. Oh, those are great ages.
It's absolutely great.
Yeah, because they don't
Getting
live
into the
here.
job force.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm almost 30. I'm catching up.
30.
Catching up. That's not how that works.
You're gonna catch me. I remember when Barbara was younger than me. Not anymore.
Back
Yeah,
in the
Lindsay turns
day.
30 this year. You guys have the same
Yep.
year. Yeah, you're July 2nd. You have the same birthday as my nephew.
Exactly, yep.
I'm in May.
Oh,
Let me tell you.
for you.
July
Let me- No, I'm
21st.
just saying. Let me tell you. Like,
Cancer?
You're like
Yeah.
17.
Okay.
She's not. She's drinking alcohol. She's
drinking
over
alcohol.
21.
Thank you.
Thank you for this. It was starting to feel like the last episode of Friends here for a second. It's like we all have to leave now. We're just too old.
No.
you learn so much about your body when you hit close to 30. I've come to realize.
Dude, shut the fuck up.
It's funny.
We were talking about this yesterday, how like, you started making noises when you get up and sit down.
Yeah. The big thing about aging is, I was talking with Barbara about this. There's a point in your life where all your life you drop stuff and you bend down and pick it up. Will be a point in your life at some point when you drop something on the ground and before you bend over to pick it up, you think about it.
Yeah.
And you're like, how am I going to do this? And then
Is it
that
worth
never goes away.
Oh, no.
Every single time you go down to
Yeah.
the ground, you think about how you're going to do it.
I hold my knee.
I hope.
My knee.
I do
I
like,
got bad knees.
I do like the sides.
I do one of these. I do one of these. And it blows my.
bent one down.
Yeah.
I didn't feel.
I just do like a young person and I just pick it up.
That's not a young person even. I'll tell you this. What blows my fucking
What does
mind.
a young person do?
Let me
Float
let
down?
me scooch out here. It blew my mind. I didn't know I was so fucking old until Iris. This is how she picks up everything. Oh, I do that. All my knees just she'll fucking play like this, and I'm just like fucking living in a squat.
Have you ever been sitting on
Crazy.
on your
I just
butt?
blew my knees apart.
I heard all of that.
The most embarrassing thing is if you're sitting on the ground for whatever reason, and then you have to get up from sitting on the ground. It takes like 14 different poses.
Gotta roll.
Like this, and then like
And
all
then
the
you
way
feel
up.
it after for like a hot minute.
Yeah.
That's why whenever I'm like tired and ready for bed, if I start getting loopy, so I'll just throw myself around. I'll be rolling off the edge of the bed, or like sometimes I'll just be like knees on the floor, face on the couch, just kind of like that. And at that point, I don't know, I'm just goofing off. Like I'm just want to go to bed, and then like I don't want to go upstairs or anything. So then I end up in a position like that, and that's when I realize like, oh shit, I'm kind of locked in now. And then I go limp in that position because then you gotta like.
It's so uncomfortable, but it's almost easier just staying like that. Than adjusting slightly to be.
But there's little things like that happen even earlier in life where there's literally no gap for humans when they do not want to go to sleep and they don't want to take a nap to the one day they're just like, I want to sleep 24 hours a day. It's usually about like teenage years, like 11 or 12. They're like, or 13. It's like depending on when you go through puberty. They just come home and go to sleep for 5 or 6 hours.
That's
the way it
Or
goes.
if you were me, you just slept 5 hours a night and you just dealt with it.
God.
Do you have insomnia too? You can't sleep and you can't eat.
No, I sleep plenty. It was just in high school in particular, just doing shit constantly.
Yeah, I remember in high school I used to stay up until like 2 or 3 in the morning every single night, just like on the Roosterteeth website or whatever, talking to people. And then I'd get up for school at like 7 in the morning and I'd be completely fine.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
No
And now
longer can you do that.
I cannot stay up
cannot
past
do
midnight
that.
anymore.
Oh, me neither. Oh my god, me neither.
At all.
I can't. No more.
Already? You're only 12?
Oh yeah, no more. I'm done. I'm going to bed at 10.
Smart woman.
When I was
At 10.
I remember making a tweet somewhere in the middle of the year for my. Oh, I'm 28 now, I think. When I was 27. Yeah, I don't know. I don't count.
I'm not quite sure.
27, and a couple of like in 160 days or whatever. Like I pinpointed the day where I sat there and went, now I feel old, because like I started realizing cuts wouldn't heal as well. I'd start going if I rolled over or whatever. Like just things. Like I think there was a day at one point like I threw out whatever it is with your knee. Like my knee was just like excruciating pain just because I had like a wall that was like this high, and I was just squatted like this and I was painting it. And just one of my knees decided like, oh, you can barely walk now.
Oh no.
And I didn't
Mine
bang it on
doesn't
anything.
heal.
I squatted for 10 minutes.
Noticed
Used
you
it.
wrinkles.
I used it.
You used your body.
Maybe next time you don't bend.
I'm starting to get the like tech neck wrinkles from like this,
Oh yeah.
where you get the
Oh, I
like
never even noticed that.
tech neck.
I got that.
think it's like the
I got that.
yeah. And it's just
I see it.
I
I see it on you.
No!
Yeah.
Don't say it on me!
spreading.
Like this.
I'm gonna run.
Yeah. Whenever I'm in bed, I try to like look at my phone like.
Look how weird it is. Look how weird it is though when you hold your head up all the way. It makes you look like look at Barbara.
Yeah.
It's like it completely changes your look.
I actually.
Just like having proper posture.
It's hard, man.
I don't.
I got
so
JD.
hard.
Did I show you that thing? I got JD this posture corrector.
It's like a
It's got off
backpack.
Amazon. It almost it just looks like a backpack.
Yeah.
Oh, no
Yeah.
backpack. It's just
I got
straps.
that. I got
and
that.
it just pulls you back like that, and you feel.
I might try that
10 feet tall.
because
need
it
that.
takes energy to like hold this and stretch because you've learned about this with your trainer. Some muscles tighten up and some muscles get too loose, and so then you're stuck like that.
So actually, a big part of it, for a lot of us who grew up with computers and being on the internet all the time, is like we're used to being a little more hunched. So this muscle gets really tight and like small, essentially. So working this out actually will open this up a lot more because these tend to shorten and turn your shoulders.
Yeah, I
inwards.
use that backpack thing,
Yeah.
whatever the posture. Yeah, but when I'm gaming, like when I'm like gaming, I put it.
I'm gonna
If
put
you
on
get
5.
a little
Oh
lacrosse
God,
ball.
you're gonna be like this.
Get it done faster. 5 times.
You're just
Get,
gonna
like,
break
get a
your
little
back.
lacrosse ball and stand up against a wall and put it right here and just kind of
like-
like roll into it and like loosen this part up.
Oh, that's so
Really get
weird.
in there.
It just made me think
For
of
you
like.
and me, we'll get each other. You
Yeah,
know.
At least-
it'll pop.
At least now we have like 2019 technology. Weird. where it's like, oh, I got this backpack, whatever. Well, you're like, I got JD this backpack to fix his posture. I just thought, JD didn't get beat up enough, so I got him this back brace. And we're like, hey guys, my dad bought me this. Now I'm gonna
wear it to school, I guarantee.
That makes me think, is there a budget version where you just grab a normal backpack and throw a bunch of bricks in it?
Yeah.
And then tighten it
here.
Tough 'em
so
up.
it's like way up high. You know?
There's also those little, they're like little electrical things. It's either something
my God.
There's one that you put on your back, and there's another you put here, and you calibrate where you have proper posture. So anytime you're leaned,
it shocks you.
It like you get an alert on like if you have like a Fitbit or like anything, and it'll remind you to sit back up.
Hey, idiot, stand up.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's a budget for that too. It's also a brick. Sometimes in your head when you're like, sit up, idiot. I need to remember that too
I'm
much.
used to like gaming like this,
Yeah.
and then having the
But that's
monitor
why you
this
need-
close to my face.
But that's why you need this, so you're kind of
You know what I
more
do?
like
And
that.
I'm worse the better my posture
Yeah,
though.
but-
Same thing with like
you wanna
the farther
save your
away
back,
from the
or-
TV, the
His
worse you
KD.
are.
He wants to save his
You want to
KD.
save your
It saved
KD
my back
or your
or saved my
back? Come on.
KDA and.
Everybody talks about posture. Everybody immediately just
Yeah, I know,
everybody
exactly, of
instinctively just straightens.
Oh,
up.
yeah,
Dude,
everyone at
talking
home's like,
about.
oh yeah.
This podcast is brutal. Like I sit there and I'm always usually looking at like the chat. You know, a lot of times I've noticed on the podcast, people are like, Michael's just staring into the camera. So because they put the chat,
there's a chat there, and the camera's over there.
So whenever I'm looking at the chat, I'm just like this into the camera while everyone else is looking at each other. But so many times I'll glance over and then we can also see, you know, like what the shot is. I'll be like,
Yeah.
when I see myself slouched like this at the table, I'll go, oh shit.
Yeah. I'm so conscious of it too, but
I never
just
am.
like.
I guess it's
Like
like
certain people I can always tell when they catch themselves on camera though, because they go.
Oh,
like-
absolutely.
It's like this move where they go.
Yeah, absolutely. Or they fix their hair or
Yeah.
something.
Or they're like,
yeah, they're like, exactly.
Sometimes I wonder if it's better not having monitors where we can
Oh,
see
absolutely,
this.
I
I
agree.
like having the chat there. That's nice.
Yeah,
I don't have that.
the chat's nice.
they're the masters. They manipulate every set how they please. They're
get
like,
that.
hey, let's do this show for this show.
Get them nothing but the chat.
It's just they do whatever they want.
So when's Luna come to the office? We get to see her. Give her like.
you know.
She needs all her like.
She's been in the car. Should I get her?
Really?
No.
Oh my god.
Oh, I got all excited. I was like, there's a baby here.
You got excited. You
make it in the car.
for an hour.
There's a baby here.
I know,
There's a baby here.
Nah, dude, she's small, man.
I know.
small.
We were talking about it before you came in, but it's like when they're newborn, it's like there's like I said, it's like a football that somebody let some of the air out of because they're like this big and they're all kind of mushy. They're not solidified yet.
He's cut the baby and he's like,
all like this.
oh yeah,
That's
oh,
what you take a baby this.
Yeah, he's right.
8 pounds, 7 ounces,
Yeah.
right? That's a big baby.
Yeah, she's pretty big.
Iris was what, 7?
No, she was 6'5", but she was a month early.
There's bowling balls.
that's very
that are
tall.
Less than
6'5".
Yeah. Yeah. Lindsay was pushing him out forever.
Oh yeah, it just kept on coming
Like one
out.
of those poops that's like really, really long and skinny.
But it was funny because like
I know what you're talking about.
Are you in the room or are you like outside walking back and forth
in the room.
smoking cigarettes and that stuff?
Smoking cigarettes.
I'm outside going, God damn it, it's not a boy. This is bullshit. I'm going to the doctor like, is there anything you can do for me? Maybe like maybe there was a mix-up.
You're like,
with a boy.
are you like, how long do you think this is gonna take? Can you guys like text me when we get close?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to a movie.
Oh no.
But she was over 2 pounds bigger than Iris, because Iris was like 4 weeks early and Luna was like 2 days before her due date, so she like right on time.
Yeah, Lindsay was saying, I hope it's okay to say this. She was saying that she was like, I bet we're gonna have to induce.
Yeah.
She really thought.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
She carried like all the way.
Yeah. The first thought was like, oh, she's gonna come early because the first one came early, and then she was like, nah, fuck that, I'm not doing that.
What, she was originally due the 20th?
The 20th. She was born the 18th.
Wow. Right
So it was like right on time. And then it was like those last like 3 weeks, Lindsay was like, get this thing out of me.
Yeah.
She was great both pregnancies, you know, where she like when she first had Iris, she just kept saying like, oh, I miss being pregnant. Like I miss it, you know, like I liked it. She was like, some people were like, oh, thank God it's over.
Fathom it.
Yeah, she was just like, I liked it. And she was like that the whole way with Luna. Like week 37, she's like, I'm over it.
Really?
Over it. I didn't hit this point last time. Like week 38, she's like, please make it stop. Week 39, she's just like,
She could take a full breath.
It was like
she was like,
it was like the
going up
week
the
leading up
stairs.
to it. I was like, Lindsay, there is a human being in you right now that could just be
Is
out of
ready
you
to
right
be
now
out.
and live on its own. That's I can't even comprehend that.
That's a good point.
And
It's
she's
like it's
and she-
overstaying its welcome.
And then she
Yeah.
leans, she faces me, and she's like, yeah.
She's like, no shit, asshole.
I know.
But like,
I'm impressed that she was like doing her training and everything too at the same time.
Yeah,
like
she did both.
right up
both
until
pregnancies.
the end. That's insane.
How's Riri liking being a big sister?
She likes it.
Yeah?
Yeah, she was super excited when
That's
we
awesome.
brought
That's
her
great.
home.
That's so great.
But it was like, she was born, Luna, and I was like, wow, I could tell she was bigger than Iris. She was like 25% bigger almost, you know, as far as like weight, and she was like an inch and a half taller. And like, you know, Lindsay's like, oh, she's so small because we're used to Iris for so long. And I'm like, yeah, but compared to baby Iris, she's huge.
Yeah.
Right.
Then Lindsay's parents came by the hospital. I just didn't leave this time. Last time I had to go like get shots and I had to get stuff ready because she was a month early, so we weren't ready. So I had to leave the hospital and like get shit done at the house and come back to the hospital. But this time I just stayed there the whole time until we went home. So her parents came by the day after with Iris, and I was like, fuck, you're big. Like, I was just so used to the tiny baby, and Iris was like, where's my sister? Holy shit. You know, like now I'm changing the diapers, and like newborn diapers are this big, you know? They're like little fucking napkins. And then I was changing Iris yesterday, and I'm like, ah, like taking her leg, and her leg's like the size of my arm. And I was just like, she looks like a 4-year-old now. I'm just like,
linebacker.
Whoa.
She's almost 2, yeah?
Yeah, she's almost 2. But my thought with Luna was like, oh, she's trying to close the gap. And so she's like, no, I'm staying in here. She's like, ain't gonna be no 2-year difference. she could be taller. So, dude, when they're like, I mean, they'll be, you know, like year-wise, a year apart. She's almost 2 years older, but like they'll be 4 and 5 and 5 and 6 and, you know, 6 and 7. And I was like, dude, when they're like 5 and 6, they're gonna be the same size.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah,
No.
for sure.
Hard to predict that stuff.
No, I predicted it.
Shout out to Lindsay, by the way. Even though she was absolutely kind of miserable at the end, she's in the gym every fuck. I can't tell you how many times I've been laying in bed thinking I'm not going to the gym. I get an Instagram alert, Lindsay's story. She's at the gym, like, I gotta fucking go to the gym.
Yeah, like you have no excuse. You have no excuse.
Motivational Monday.
Don't worry, you guys got something to worry. She can come back now that she's a baby. She's gonna be strong as fuck.
Yeah.
She's gonna be really.
I saw she posted like, shit. There's so many people on social media. I think it was Lindsay. It was somebody. She was like, this is my after pregnancy like goal. Like, and it was a picture or a video rather of somebody pushing a Jeep just by themselves. They were backed into it and pushed it.
That was Lindsay. Yeah, it was Bree. It was Bree who was pushing the.
Yeah, Bree. Yeah,
Don't let me out, follower.
But it was Captain Marvel.
It's a lot on my feet. I can't follow everyone.
But I was like, I have no doubt that she can do that.
Oh, the gold jacket.
I want to get that gold card.
Gold card.
Oh, that was like, I never even knew you mentioned that. It's like forever ago. So I told Trevor today when he was talking about the gold card, I was like, dude, I mean, you know, was in the hospital for 2 days, didn't eat the entire day. We went home. I got home at like 3 o'clock. Stopped at McDonald's. I'm like, the kid was like 43 hours old when I went to McDonald's. Sure, that's like gold card.
That's first 2 days of existence.
Like, in the back seat, you want a nugget? You want a chicken nugget?
Just like
she wants a nugget.
That infant meal, you know, that one nugget meal. Just
here's a fry. I'll mash it into your mouth.
Can I tell you something though?
Some sweet and sour sauce with the breast milk.
Chef Mike that I discovered through his Twitter feed. That is, I wish I hadn't discovered it. Is the McDonald's app where you can just like make whatever the fuck you want, basically. It's just like a little computer thing.
Really?
And you're like, oh, I want a chicken with, how about some cheese on that? Look at some
milkshake.
hamburger on top of that.
You destroyed us.
You can just make whatever you want and then go pick it up. It's, I mean, there's within reason, but yeah, you can.
I fucking love McDonald's.
It's crazy.
You go next door to Taco Bell and put that on the burger.
I want triple onion.
Why is there always a Taco Bell right next door to a McDonald's? Everywhere there is one.
It's competition. They just,
It's
not competition. I go to both.
Fast food pops up in batches.
Do you know how many times I pull up to Taco Bell and I'm like, it's kind of embarrassing. I got a McDonald's bag. I'm like, I'm getting 2 orders, all right? I wanted a little from column A and a little from column B. You guys are right next to each other.
Also, you know it's a problem when they actually have a trash can that's in the path of the drive-thru. So you can throw away your former drive-thru before you get the new stuff.
Let me get rid of
that trash can, by the way. Always full.
Always full. Always
It's
full.
the like little lid's always pushed in because there's cups coming out of it and shit.
Oh yeah, it's that thing that comes out. It's like
Yeah.
open
Yeah.
now.
There's the bin because it's the window. It's like, hey, fat ass, don't even have to get out of your car. It's like, thank God, there's a trash tube. It's like a little plastic connector. I mean, I've heard. I haven't used it.
Who knows?
I mean, that is such an enabling move. Like, let's put a
really-
trash can in the drive-thru so they can throw in their former drive-thru orders. God, such a sad statement.
I regret to say that the local McDonald's has gotten rid of their trash chute and the trash can. I'd go by it all the time going,
floor.
what the fuck? Might as well litter this shit.
The local McDonald's is in the one a block away instead of 2 blocks away or 3 blocks away.
The one I Uber ate from this morning. Yeah. Like a 3-minute drive. I can't make it.
Yeah.
Uber Eats.
That's why Uber Eats exists.
Of course.
Well, after you mash in some McDonald's, you gotta go home and brush your teeth.
Yeah.
Right?
Get fresh.
Get fresh. This episode of Off Topic is brought to you by Quip. Ever brush your teeth and when you get out of the house, your mouth just doesn't feel fresh? Well, up to 90% of us don't brush for the full 2 minutes or don't clean evenly. Quip is a better electric toothbrush created by dentists and designers to make your brushing your teeth more simple, affordable, and even enjoyable. It has built-in 2-minute timer pulses every 30 seconds to remind you when to switch sides and help clean your whole mouth evenly. And Quip doesn't require a clunky charger and runs for 3 months on one charge. Brush heads are automatically delivered on a dentist-recommended schedule every 3 months for a friendly reminder when it's time to refresh and stay committed to your oral health. Quip is great, and I love using it. I know it's cleaning my mouth effectively, and it's way better than using traditional toothbrush. That's why I love Quip, and why they're backed by over 20,000 dental professionals. Quip starts at just $25, and if you go to getquip.com/offtopic right now, you will get your first refill pack for free with a Quip electric toothbrush. That's your first refill pack free at getquip.com/offtopic.
Go get it quickly.
There you go, Barbara.
Yeah.
I use that one. That was a good one. Usually I
One free one.
like to give them one,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, hey, if you want to use it.
That's
If
my
you want
gift.
to use
You want to use the slogan.
Get there quickly. I'll say it again. Quickly.
Quickly.
It's your favorite little quip.
Quip, quip.
Good little Quip.
Quip.
Thanks for having me on the show. It's nice.
So after you get your McDonald's and stuff your face with the limitless gold card, then you can brush your teeth with a Quip.
Just for you, though.
You would be the problem
It's
guy,
one
though.
person.
They would have to come back and buy you out of it.
They would.
Like that dude who got the American Airlines
100%.
thing. Yeah.
100%.
The American Airlines sold in I think the early '80s. They sold passes. It was $150 grand in the early '80s. It was a lot of money. Still a lot of money, but back then it was even more. Then you could just fly for the rest of your life whenever you wanted to. It was like a free $150,000 once you paid it. And a dude who got it would say, "No, I want to go to Paris for dinner," and would just jump on a plane. He was on a plane almost every day, and it got to the point years down the road when they were underwater on these things, and they were trying to buy him out any way they could. I think it was like a big lawsuit at one point between
Did they still
this
accrue
guy.
status, or were they
that's-
an automatic concierge key, or
Maybe he just gets first
what?
class. I think.
Oh, it was a first class thing too.
I think it was. Yeah.
Man, I would have bought into that instantly.
Nah, it's a big investment.
It is.
$150,000? Yeah, I wouldn't be
That
coming
is
by that
a
anytime
house.
soon.
Alexa, what is
Well, it's a down payment. It's a down payment for a house
Down
for sure.
payment, yeah.
You're saying Alexa?
Depending on where you are.
What the hell is a down payment? 150 grand?
No, it contains the down payment. You can't get $150,000
I just feel like
house
if you're
in
the type
Austin
of
right
person,
now.
especially
No, I meant
when
down
I'm
payment. Down payment's like 20%.
store.
It's an
Yeah,
expensive ass house.
I wonder what
It's
time
not
it
a
is.
full
Like,
house,
Alexa,
that's what I'm saying.
and then I gotta
It's part of the house.
do you do that, Barb?
Do I
It's on
do-
Fiona. It's like when I'm out in public, and I'm
I
like,
don't
what
go
time is it? I'm like thinking to myself, what time is it? I'll go. Sometimes I go, Alexa. And then I have to get really oh shit, because there's no Alexa here.
No.
Yeah, I
I've
can
had-
No,
Not at all.
I've had to,
Unplug, Bernie. Unplug.
I called Ashley Alexa once.
What? Bernie.
Once.
Oh no.
That's too many times.
what was the
was it
context?
The context was luckily I was just trying to find something downstairs, and Ashley's upstairs, and I was like, "Where the fuck is this?" And I go, "Alexa, wait, have you seen my thing?" And she goes, "Are you talking to me?" And I was like, "Yes."
Wow.
What? And I was like, "Oh no." She let me slide on that one though. So, yeah.
Then Ashley smashed all the Alexas in the house.
Yeah, you get killed in your sleep for
I
that.
had to like basically not teach Trevor how to use the Amazon Alexa, but he would
that's
always
a
go,
rip.
"Hey Alexa,
Yeah, I still do that.
And then like
being nice.
but,
JD says,
wait, because you know
"Hey,
Siri does
Alexa."
that beep beep thing when she recognizes your voice. You always like wait the little
Yeah,
thing.
I'll be like, "Hey Alexa," and then I'll wait. And then sometimes I don't. I figure like I don't care anymore. And then she still doesn't answer me.
Apologies to everone who has an Alexa in their house while they're listening.
You gotta hit that little mute button.
You do.
Hit the mute button.
But you can actually make it the beeps.
Can you?
Yeah, there's little confirmation beeps. It'll do when it's listening and then when it's done.
I did teach him, or I showed him rather, the thing you told me about, which was the whisper mode, which is the most terrifying
Freaks me out.
You play Skyrim on it too.
No.
It's
In
really
whisper
fun.
mode?
JD's been playing a game of Skyrim.
I grab my shield.
No.
And I go to the knee.
You die.
Whisper mode.
Like,
Yeah,
whispers back to
basically,
you?
whisper mode is if you go like, Alexa, what time is it? She'll go, it's currently 4:03
Oh, no,
p.m.
fuck that.
But it's
No,
super.
no.
It's gonna sound weird complaining for
That's
whisper mode.
scary.
It's very quiet. It needs to be a whisper, but a
Good
little
if-
bit fuller
It's
volume.
good if it's like the middle of the night.
It is in the middle of the night.
Or like
Turn the
early in the
volume all the
morning.
way up and then whisper to it. And then it's going to be the loudest whisper.
Also, something that Trevor pointed out to me, which I didn't realize about the Alexa, which is fucking creepy, is that it looks at you when you talk to it.
Oh, yeah.
So like, there's that
What?
little ring around the top
Oh,
of
it
it.
glows
yeah.
in your
It-
direction.
It glows in your
It
direction.
hears where the sound's coming from. So
I didn't know that.
It's
Yeah.
helpful if actually it points away from you because you know it's too close to a wall.
Yeah.
And then you can like pull it back off a little bit. That kind of helps.
Oh, interesting.
I like to throw my voice so she never knows where I'm
Yeah, you idiot. It always gets me because I usually put on just like some lullabies or something for Iris at night. And she'll be like, tired or falling asleep. I got the lights off, and I don't ever check the Alexa before that point. I'm just there. And the nighttime is happening. I'm like, I put it up like, Alexa, play lullabies. And I'm like, playing lullabies. By da-da-da-da. I'm like, shut the fuck up. It's like it always startles me.
Put on that
So it's
whisper
like,
mode.
Fuck, it was on 8 before that, and I just had no idea what volume it was on. I never check it.
My favorite thing is watching Jackie try to figure out all this stuff. So I was like brushing my teeth in the morning, and Jackie's like, "Hey Siri, Siri." I'm like, that's the wrong thing. Like, nope, that's Alexa.
Oh, because she was talking to
You're
Alexa.
talking to Alexa.
Screaming
She's like,
Siri.
"Hey Siri."
Wait, who was
Siri!
it? It was somebody. God, I don't remember who at this point. Somebody said that they called it Siri, and it responded and said, "It's not my name."
No, there was a.
It's got sass.
Yeah.
I know, because I say a lot
bake
of
it
shit
in.
to my Alexa when I'm fucking around in the morning, too. I'm probably like brushing my teeth, go, "Hey, Alexa, go fuck yourself." And then it'll be like,
That was
they'll
not
have some
very
sort
nice.
of.
That shit's
it'll
getting
have-
recorded, dude.
Yeah,
Gotta be careful.
Oh, man. Oh, no. Can you imagine if someone heard me say that?
No, I'm saying the machines, man. 50 years from now,
yeah.
they're gonna have a log
I'll
of
be
you
dead
being
by
an
then.
asshole.
I'll be dead by
Did
then.
you hear? I don't know if you guys follow Wes's girlfriend Alyssa on Twitter. She was at home. I think they have a Google. What's it
The
called?
Hub?
The Google
Home. Google
Home.
And she was crying. I think something had happened where she was upset and she was crying. Never said anything to it. She was just crying. And all of a sudden it went, "Are you okay?"
No.
That's creepy. That's
See,
too much.
That's the thing about turning on the tones.
Yeah.
You do all of a sudden realize how much the thing listens to you. Because, sometimes you'll be sitting in your house and you'll be talking to somebody, and then all of a sudden Alexa goes, I don't know that. Or, I can't find any results on the web for that. And you're like, for what?
I didn't call you.
I wasn't talking to you.
Bitch.
I usually yell at it.
Did you guys hear the weird spooky thing where, let me see when this is from. You don't have a date on this. I think March 5th, 2018, there was a weird thing where some of these Echoes, is the name of the device, they would just start on their own, just start laughing.
Oh, yeah, I heard about
Oh, I
and
read
people,
that.
people were freaked out because the
Like a ha 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 ha.
like a maniacal laugh. I
It
don't
was
think I've
like
ever
it was
heard
a
recording of
glitch. It was a glitch or something.
That's gonna be a no
Yeah.
from me.
That's
dog.
what they want you to
going
believe, of
right
course.
outside, sledgehammer.
If I started hearing my Echo laugh, I would actually
Flinging
move.
that
A lot of people.
I
Hey
would
Siri,
move. I don't
laugh
even
for
think-
me.
A lot of people bring. Yeah.
All right, that was too cool.
A lot of people bring
I
that
hate
up.
you guys.
That was a little
It's
too
like,
fast.
there's a lot of that.
That was too close.
Hey, do you know they're listening? And hey, they're compiling data. And mom's just like, yeah, I got one. What's 4? I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm in. Hook me up. Plug me in.
Yeah.
Put me in the matrix.
Once they're in, they're in.
I don't care.
I do cover the cameras on them.
I'll be dead by then.
Yeah.
The ones that have cameras, I cover they got a little. You can actually buy them on Amazon. There's stickers that are meant to cover.
Oh, you can buy them on Amazon. Amazon's got control. They got
got you.
transparent
They're
stickers.
putting cameras in the stickers.
Both sides.
We fooled them.
But there was also that story
did it.
about a couple that tested it where they started talking about dog food, right?
They don't have a dog, and they wanted to test if it was
cat food.
Cat food? Yeah, it was cat food. So they got together away from their phones and they made this thing, we're going to start talking about cat food. So they started talking about cat food in front of their mobile phones, just sitting on the computer, on the desk.
Yep, never
not using them.
Google
Didn't do
research
anything.
or anything like that.
And then, sure enough, the next day they started getting advertisements for all cat food and stuff like that on Facebook.
I was talking to my friend. He said he needed glasses, and I was like, let's go to the eye doctor so you can see what you need for your glasses. Literally 2 days afterwards, I get a Warby Parker advertisement in my house. I have never in my life looked up Warby Parker. I don't even know why it's there. Like, it was there, and I was like, that's weird. The only time I've talked about glasses was 2 days ago.
The physical address part of that makes it really weird.
Isn't that scary? Because I swear I never looked up Warby Parker. I didn't even know it was like a glasses
Great pair of
company.
glasses, though.
Wonderful sponsor.
Wonderful sponsor, but yeah.
That is weird. I think there's a news guy, like a news anchor, did a report where he bought a brand new phone, new SIM card, everything, new account, and I think he turned it off. I think he had like another phone that was on, or one that was whatever it was. I'm not going to do it justice, but he drove around town, just going through a fake day where he's like, I'm going to go get breakfast there. I'm going to go do that at the park, walk around the park. I'm going to go to lunch there or whatever. And it being off tracked still. Like they were able to pull off the data that was sent off the phone, and you see like there's like 1,000 different nodes of data like indicating where he had been and what he had done and like. And so it just gathers your data in that way. So like your phone is constantly listening, constantly watching, like your Alexas and all that. They're billion-dollar companies. They don't make billions of dollars.
I was convinced at that point.
Your data is not safe.
I was convinced.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, but I'm not okay with stuff like when Facebook lets Spotify read your DMs.
Yeah.
You know, like that kind of
you can
that was the whole
DM
thing
on
that came out.
Spotify?
No, on Facebook.
On
so when you
Facebook,
connect your account,
That kind of thing.
you could do these things where it's going to have access to your account and this information. It's like, oh, it's Spotify, it's fine. Then somebody found out, oh, they're also giving them access to your DMs. And so anyone, I don't know.
Anyone that's been sliding in.
At Spotify, someone could theoretically go in and just read your DMs.
I totally get where, because you've talked about this on the RT podcast before. Totally understand what you're saying. I like the fact that my data can be catered. I like that like information is like catered towards me, and so like things that I might see, and there's still a little bit of room for exploration where it might be like things you're interested in, but then I can also go out of my way and find other things. I don't know what I don't see though. I don't know the things that I might be interested in that aren't shown to me. And I also am not okay with, and this is 99% of the data that is collected it's without your true consent. You might have to say like, okay, check, I read the terms and conditions or whatever. It's just legalese. It's just littered with shit that you're not going to read. And like, so to a legal extent, we're kind of consenting to some of this data tracking. But like you're saying, perhaps however the information was potentially gathered, you trying on the glasses, whether it was heard or some way tracked.
It's
like,
weird.
That kind of shit, like that non-consensual, like I like some of the results that come from it, from that data catering. I don't like some of the more nefarious things that come out later that are happening behind the scenes on how people are collecting and getting to your data.
Like
but just like what he was saying, like it was my physical address. Like that wasn't an email ad. It was not like an ad on Facebook. It was my address, a home address, Warby Parker. No one wears glasses at my house. Like it was crazy. I was like,
beyond that, like
hopefully it was just a
fluke or coincidental.
You see, I thought it was coincidental. Like I really did, but I was like, this is too close.
There was something just sold. I can't remember what it was. I was just reading it like yesterday or the day before. Some kind of Google device, and it had a camera in it, and people didn't know that.
Oh,
and then it came out, and they were like, "Oh yeah, no, that we just forgot to put that on the specs."
No.
Is it like a pager?
How do you?
No, literally, literally, there's like the picture of like this is
forget?
all the features or whatever, and it having a camera wasn't listed, and they were like, "Oh, our bad."
Is it not in the pictures?
It's like a tiny little dot, whatever, and people like found like, "What the fuck? There's a camera in here," and they were like, "Oh yeah, that's our bad. We meant to make it like that, but we just forgot to tell you." I don't remember. It might have been like a newer one.
There's also
it's like, oh shit.
There's also patents by Apple that are like, they have patents on how to attain blood samples needlelessly. It's weird.
Don't collect Trevor's blood if he doesn't give it to you. That's all he's saying.
If you listen, if you want to
ask nice,
if you want a cup of blood, I got cups of blood.
Ask for his blood.
Just call her. She'll undo the saran wrap and send it on in.
That's what I do at night. I feed him and I collect his blood.
All right. Well,
Sometimes
that's. Oh, nice. Well, that should probably be our time. We're going a little long here.
Baby.
You gotta get back to that baby.
Number 2.
Thanks for dropping by. Fresh Dad number 2.
Thanks for inviting me on the podcast, Michael.
And yeah, thanks Bernie, Barbara, for coming
You got a
by.
little orange cat in there.
Yeah.
A little orange Minecraft cat in there.
Yeah. When Marcus finally made this and like put the seal over it, he came by our office and he's like, "Do you have anything I could like put in there?" I'm like, "Yeah, we got a bunch of shit all over the place." It's like all this crap in here is from our office.
I know Marcus so well too. It's like I know there's parts of it that he probably is like miserable about, like this bubble here or something like that,
or like
little
this.
shit that would bug him.
Oh yeah.
That's me.
Well, thanks for having us on, guys.
Yeah, well thanks for coming by.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks. It was fun. It's an honor.
Thanks for saving me.
And
Happy
thanks
weekend,
for watching, audience.
Sorry, I'm not Gus.
We'll see
Get
you
out.
next week.
Sorry, I'm not Chad.
Happy birthday, Gus.
Bye.